I'm ready to go if you guys are.
I believe so.
Cool.
We are, boy.
Picking up from where we last left off, you've arrived at Blingdenstone. As you follow Jimjar through the city of speaking stones, you catch sight of a warm, earthy glow that spills from the small windows and open doorway of a building ahead. Above the door, a rough carved sign depicts a... No, this is not gonna work. Okay, pause. Above the door, a roughly carved sign depicts a frothy mug that hangs slightly askew, bearing the name, The Foaming Mug, in bold, gnomish letters. You hear soft laughter and the faint clinking of mugs as they drift out to greet you, a reminder of simpler comforts in this rugged underground world. As you approach the copper doors, you hear air hiss as the doors swing open all on their own. Psst. And as you step inside, this inn feels both cozy and lively, with polished metal tables and sturdy stools scattered around the tap room, many of which are mounted on these gears and adjustable pistons to accommodate guests of different sizes. The place has a rustic charm infused with mechanical ingenuity. Bronze and copper lanterns hang along the walls, their gears quietly whirling as they adjust to keep the light steady, casting this warm amber glow over the shiny metal surfaces all throughout. Small shelves are lined with curios, whirling knickknacks, and clockwork oddities, like a tiny automaton bird that occasionally chirps, or a self-winding music box that fills the air with gentle tinking tunes. Behind the bar stands an intricately designed drink dispenser, an apparatus of glass tubes, valves, and bubbling liquid that whirls to life as the bartenders pull levers to pour drinks with flawless precision. You note two deep gnomes that work the taproom, a lively pair with a familial resemblance, each sporting tool belts bristling with small gadgets. Their smiles are warm and their eyes gleam with excitement as they notice you, newcomers, clearly delighted to have fresh faces to entertain with both their stories and their clever contraptions. In unison they say, "Welcome! Welcome to the Foaming Mug." One of the gnomes, male, steps forward with an outstretched hand. "I'm Sam, and this is here, Ella." He gestures to his partner, who nods with a grin. "Not every day we foam straps get visitors from above. Come on in, warm yourself up." Ella, the female of the pair, bustles over with a few tankards of this dark, foamy ale, and you soon find yourselves surrounded by a few patrons curious to take a peek at you strange lot. Ella places the tankards on the table. "You've got to try. This is Dark Lake Stout. Best ale we've got on tap." She sort of pushes the tankards toward you with a knowing wink and leans in with open curiosity, clearly delighted to have new faces and fresh tales from beyond their walls. "Now, tell us about yourselves. Adventurers, I gather."
Go ahead.
At this point, more like survivors, but yes, adventurers. We have been a long journey through the caves. Happy year finally. Tell us how things are faring in the city.
You know, we're survivors as well, though we had our fair share of troubles. You see from among the patrons throughout, this weathered-looking miner sort of leans in, and his voice slow and serious. "Yeah, you know, there's ghosts about in this place, and they're getting restless, worse than ever. Some even linger in the catacombs, whispering and wailing. Makes a gnome nervous to walk alone, even in daylight." Another...
Undead.
Hmm?
don't you got some like clerics or something to do that for you? And then as he's saying that, he's kind of pushing aside the mugs and he's trying to find the most fuller one.
Oh, they seem to be mostly harmless, and then again, they are ghosts. Fighters, warriors, ancestors of the past. Still eerie. I simply don't venture the candles myself, but he seems to tell you that whatever priests they have, they seem to be almost caretaking the territory of these ghosts, making sure that the resting place is fitting such mighty warriors of the past. Another young scout. Yeah.
What are the oozes and the demon spiders? I don't mean to brag or anything, but we did just save several dozen deep gnomes. I wouldn't call us heroes, but maybe you would.
I'll drink to that. He lifts a mug.
Yes.
I'll drink too, and I take whatever. Chill.
All manner of strange things beyond the walls. Oozes, demons. I heard a wild tale from one of the old scouts. Back in the early days of Reclamation, there was this mad gnome who vanished. They say he's still looking around there, skulking around the dark parts that haven't been reclaimed yet. Some have even spotted him, but no one dared get close. A real mystery, that one. Lots of strange things happening lately.
When you say a man, you refer to a gnome, right?
Yes.
Okay, just check.
Drinks are pouring, the place is lively as more of the patrons sort of huddle around your table, curious to glance at your gear, your things you bring from the surface, and what have you.
Yeah, I'm gonna tuck the scourge deep down in my pack then, because it's filled with drow iconography. It's like I just let me put this away.
Looking at
What?
Go on.
I was gonna say, these little spirits that are floating about, warriors of the past and everything. I'm sorry, my knowledge of the city is not very good. Was there like some kind of fight, a battle before, burial ground?
Jesus. The whole group looks at you baffled at the fact that you, a dweller of the underground, can't seem to recall much about Blingdenstone. As a reminder of things that Jim Jar might have mentioned on the road here and during RP and stuff, these people of Blingdenstone are survivors of a recent war battle that took thousands of lives and has destroyed over 3/4 of their city when they faced off the mighty forces of the Drow. I can't help but think that I did mention this at least twice.
Maybe I thought it was maybe something, maybe not like a. I thought it was like on a more smaller scale, like they were taking like prodding attacks or something.
No, we're talking thousands of dead. We're talking music is very jolly for some discussion, but I'm keeping it. Fuck it. We're talking about a genocide that transpired. They're trying to live their best life, it seems, trying to rebuild, remember, and live a gnomish life nonetheless. This being one of those few centuries to remember and lift a mug in their memory. The gnomes seem to be talking about ghosts that reside within the catacombs, which you guys actually walked past when you visited the temple of the gnomes, the Ruby in the Deep, or Ruby in the Rough, rather.
Is that the place that Ginger wanted to go? I put in my notes that it was the barracks.
Ginger wished to visit a lot of the city. I think in your note, oh, I don't know, whatever you have in your notes, he looked longingly at the barracks when he first entered, wishing to reconnect with an old friend.
Yes.
Yeah. But he's happy to be just back home. Especially here. After all, comfortable beds await, and as Sam eagerly points out, we've even got hot springs out and back. Nothing like a good soak after a day in the Underdark, I'm telling you.
I'll go have me one of them. You all too don't smell.
Oh. Apparently you have not spelt yourself in dog form, apparently. It's quite pungent.
Well, I said I would love one. Was it?
I think we should all agree that we all need a bath.
Right.
Absolutely.
Some of your looking at his coin pocket and feeling it, it's like not as heavy. He'll ask for like I don't know what level of care you would get, like oils and shampoos and some of the. He wants a little bit more of the finer stuff.
You've got soap. We're here a civilized nation.
But I want the good stuff.
Oh, we got the good stuff.
Like, you got bar soap, that's cool, dog. But I want like the nice fermented, like good
Fermented
oil,
soap?
like, and stuff. I not fermented. Like, I just want like the good, like here's some bar soap.
Pickle me in a
Like,
barrel. Yeah, they got it. The Blingdenstone, while recuperating and having this lull moment in between wars, has enjoyed trade with both Gracklestuch and the Surface, Mental Dareth, and other settlements. You'll be able to, if you have the coin, you'll be able to spoil yourself with a little spa day. Oil that beer, perfume that hair.
That's what I want. I want him to slick back his hair, put some stuff in his beard. Ooh, maybe I can get it re-braided. It's probably looking all gangly.
You gonna search for a hairstylist?
Mate, it all comes down to the beard, let me tell you. You gotta take care of it.
They say if you
Dark
don't,
knots.
you begin to insulate. They say if you don't take care of your beard, you
respect, though.
yeah.
Like for us, it's a huge sign of respect. You never diss another dwarf's beard. You gotta upkeep it.
They say if you don't insulate your beard right and you don't clean it, you become resistant to magic.
And I ain't looking like one of them other filthy little Darrow.
The music.
You notice
But,
that throughout your stay here, as eager they are to hear about your travels and to share conversation with you, they're giving you like food and drink for free. They're pushing it towards you. Here, more. Like they're being very hospitable here. While there are many patrons in the lower floor of the tavern, you learn that in terms of inn rooms, you're the only outsiders visiting Blingdenstone in quite a while, meaning that you'll enjoy some privacy should you want to actually get rooms here. Whether or not you'll be able to get proper sleep is a whole other question. That seems to be that the Swift Neblins party as hard as they work, so earplugs are advisable.
They can't keep pouring everything on us. They got beer, cheese, bread, a bed. I'm gonna take it. I say we make camp here. They're very hospitable.
Yes,
I start
start-
pitching
More
a
than
tent.
camp. More than camp. I say we spend at least a week here, maybe 2.
Da. We got stuff to do. I got things I got going on. Plus,
Oh,
I ain't taking a little. This ain't a vacation. Don't forget what we're doing. And how much further we gotta go.
Maybe a little vacation concho, just a little one. I mean, my legs are killing me.
We'll take the day. Plenty of. Feel it out. I don't know what time of day it is, but
I'm gonna look at
Okay.
the shard. It's like it is precisely this time, and that direction is north. I love this thing.
You've been traveling for more than 8 hours.
take a wee little break. Get some supplies refreshed. Couple other things. Take care of some stuff. Still gotta go. Let me look into my notes.
to the surface.
We still gotta go there. I'm saying we still gotta go talk to the city like elders, like speak with it. Digger man.
Digger Mattok.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. We need to go talk with them still.
Ah,
So, soak it all in. Take it for what it is. It ain't gonna happen for a little while after.
So, I have a question. The
Yeah.
big shines say that the miners have been disappearing. Does anybody else is suffering the same weird disappearance in town?
you get more a notion of more confirmation of the same knowledge that you've already learned because of these oozes throughout the caverns. I mean, you don't learn any new information other than what you've already learned. They seem to be lured by the voices of their comrades and disappeared themselves. More and more faces, more and more bodies collected. This oozy issue is getting worse by the day. They're becoming more numerous. And the Deep Gnomes don't have many to spare. All in all, this war conglomerate that they've made themselves the city into is 300 gnomes strong. So every miner lost is yet another hit.
Wow.
Once again, they lift their mugs, remembrance to Carl. Of the
Ah,
lost.
yes, Carl.
Carl.
Well, when we talk to the Digomatic, we should see if we can gain more information about this ooze situation.
Yeah, the ooze has been getting worse. You hear one gnome say he's wearing like these simple robes of the Stoneheart Enclave acolytes, the Earth Druids here in the city. He sort of scoffs. Have you heard about the Enclave's so-called solution to Ogmaroch's bane? He shakes his head. That's old talk if you ask me. Rockblight's still crawling with all sorts of madness, and every elemental that goes there comes back raving. Or not at all. So it's not just the gnomes we're missing, now we're losing our elementals too. We keep trying, though. Gotta hope for a miracle. We'll find a solution one day, I think.
Rock blights. I've never heard of that before. What do you refer to?
Rockblight. It's the eastern part of the unclaimed city.
Oh, it is not a slur. Okay.
It's not a pleasant thing either.
There's a lot going on here. You got the were rats, gold whiskers, no, silver whiskers.
Golden, man.
You got ghosts. Got this rock blight. You got elementals. Oh Jesus, she's in
Yes.
shambles.
Baz,
That's
to
at
be fair,
all.
we're talking to a bunch of drunken gnomes in a bar, so take everything with a grain of salt.
Well, hang on. Still don't know much about rock blight. What is Ogremoch's bane?
It's a vile elemental spirit that possesses our rock creatures. Just by merely being present, it surrounds them, drives them mad. Cloud of evil, elemental evil. The name is familiar because of a book you guys picked up from one of the stone druids whose body you found. And currently, the book is in the position of Gizmo, but I did put a handout over in RP chat. I could put it in chat again. I can easily find it once more. It's under the Earthen Gods. Yes, so he had two books on him. Has the Earthen Custodians, Gnome Deities and their Sacred Works, and I picked up another book which is called Ogremoch and the Legend of Entomok Spoon. I'll just
You can
make a
post
little
the name.
handout for it.
Okay.
It will take me 2 seconds. Handout. I won't even format it. I'll just show it to players.
Sounds like the city's got a lot going on though. But with everything we got happening up above, the place could serve as a nice outpost of sorts. a place for the war parties to stop on through, replenish, start marching again. I think if we want to gain any good standings, might have to get our hands dirty here.
This place is only as safe as you make it. Of course, if you help us to make it safer, that's all for the better. Ogremoch's Bane is not the worst of it. We've been having all sorts of troubles. Have you heard about the were-rats? The were-rats! Those were-rats need to go! We need space for our own! You just hear like people just kind of chime over each other at the outcry.
Misunderstood creatures, leave them alone! God, yeah.
You actually do hear a few gnomes grumble like beneath their breaths into their cups like, and make more enemies in the process. I say we must strike a deal. They're survivors like us. Better to have them fighting with us than shot you. Like it really does spark an argument among gnomes.
I turned to everyone in the party and lock eyes really quick with each one of them like, you see that? Respect. Okay, so there's a lot there's a lot going on here. Woof.
That's not all. There's another one. Just
just woes on me, please.
They're as excited to talk to you as you are to them, man. I don't know.
No, I know. I'm just
you just see like this gnome who like recently returned from like what looks like the White Shell mines. He's like covered in like salt dust. He nervously says like, "You'll never believe this, but my caravan came across a parade of dancing myconoids." He sort of like scratches his head. Though through their spores they kept babbling about a wedding celebration. Never heard of myconoids celebrating anything, let alone a wedding. Strange times, eh?
Boz just has like just a straight, just like solid, unmoving face. And he's just like staring. He's just like, what's so strange about that? I've seen it with me own eyes. I all did. But you said there was a sea of dead myconoids, like a sea, like isn't like they're all just like dead on the ground.
No,
not like actual.
No, like a parade of dancing myconoids. Why dead?
Okay. I misheard you.
Yeah. And this is Nick. Why don't do accents? You guys spend more time around here, pick up more rumors here and about what you just heard. But
that's what he said about the myconoids.
Yeah.
No, never mind. We had the other myconoids. They were, they're doing their own thing. Okay.
Even without the vacation, it sounds like Sounds like we'll be spending much longer than a week in this city.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like most of these situations can be solved with murder.
Please don't.
Such as?
I mean, he's got a small point.
I mean, hypothetically, and we tend to be good at that.
Bad folk, not good folk.
I'm not saying that's the only avenue, but if it comes down to it,
let's table that for now.
Stout. Yes, I mean, we can come up with peaceful solutions, but, I mean, killing oozes, do any of you have, I mean, other than Glob? We don't have a problem with that, we just did it on the way in. Demon spiders, no problem.
Were rats?
They seem to be mixed about that. I don't know if Baz has strong feelings one way or the other, but...
My eyes are just shooting back and forth between you two. And I'm just, as soon as you said were rats, I just stopped and stared. But...
Eric jokingly puts up his hands in innocence, says, we can table those ideas for now.
Look, we mean to ingratiate ourselves to the city, so we go to the leadership, this digger master, or whatever it is, and we find out what he wants from us. And then hopefully this can be a good stronghold for us down here.
Oh, great. I think that's a good plan. See what's most priority to them. Are we all in agreement?
Yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
After-
Jim Jar, do you have any Jim Jar? Do you have anything to add to this? This is your city. These are your people.
Yeah, don't kill anyone. Maybe sleep on it. Look.
I was just putting it out there. There's no bad ideas right now. Okay, just
How about we go see the leadership, Sani and Dorgo, and we get the full picture, and then we decide to take lives, if it's necessary. But before any of that, I'm getting a bath.
100.
If we're gonna go meet leadership, I want to be nice and clean. Good presentations. I need to stop
To make
practicing
good
my
first
manners.
impressions.
Yes, I'm gonna have to be talking to a lot of nobles when we get up to the surface, and first impressions go a long way.
Careful around them.
Gizmo, are you going to finish that? And I slide his cup and his plate over to me. I'm just going to partake. I'm quite peckish.
I wasn't done that. Bippity boopity.
Well then, Jim Jar, when we're done here, you can lead the way.
Cool. Where guys? Where would you like Jim to guide you? There are many places to explore in the city. You can just take a walk on the streets and just see what you encounter as you walk along, or you can just make a straight shoot toward a location.
we should check the markets for when we were supplied.
Aren't we broke?
I mean, funds are a little light, but we can always get the most basic essentials.
Yeah.
But most of which can be provided by the inn, unless I say we head out of the walls or something. Hit the market at any time. I mean, unless you gotta look for something that you might need. Oh no.
I just want to see if they offer something unique in here. They say that they have ways to work along air elementals. I'm also curious about it, but that's with the druids from the caves.
Don't you guys gotta deliver like some bag of gems or something?
Yes, to one of the Kazuks. Kazuks.
Are we getting paid for that?
We gnomes don't do anything for free. Either you scratch our back for our scratches, or, you know, gemstones are as good as money.
Okay. 2 claps of his hand, and he says, well, "Let's go do that first. Get something knocked off the list."
You'll find Kazuk in the market. He's one hell of a gemsmith. Does rune transfusions too, says Jim Jar. Rune transfusion is the process of taking a magical property of one item and transferring it to another. Say if, you know, nobody in the party uses a bow, but you want the bow's properties to go onto a sword, he does that.
Okay.
To the markets then?
Yeah, let's go to market then.
Alright. Having eaten, drank, having a little bath, you make your way northeast through the caverns. As you move sort of into the deeper reaches of Blingdenstone, the atmosphere becomes quieter and more intimate than the tavern you just left. The residential caves branch off into like smaller caverns, each serving as simple yet cozy hovels for Nerblin families. Some families gather around like these small fire pits, sharing meals or engaging in quiet conversation, while children dart between tunnels, their laughter echoing softly throughout the caves. As you pass, a few locals smile and glance your way with mild curiosity. They're open to conversation, willingly offer directions should you ask them. Unless you wish to speak to any of them, and you will just be making your way up the tunnels to past the residential caves onto the market square, which Jim Jar points is back in the direction where you guys came from. Specifically, Trader's Grotto is to the east of the entrance. So that'll be very far north, east from where you guys are. Trader's Grotto.
And we're headed just straight there.
Cool.
Unless anyone else wants to talk.
If we're passing any markets that might have weapons, or like you said, like being able to transfer something, I think that, you know, we should probably pick up some bow or something like that for Jim Jar. I mean, he's very brave to wade into battle as he does, but I feel like buying a bow would be cheaper than finding another diamond to resurrect him.
I think you're right about that. But I want to touch a bigger elephant in the room. And I point to Eric. Hi, listen. You swing that sword and you swing it well. But whenever something's out of your reach, what are you gonna use? I've never seen you use a bow. Got no jabs. We gotta get something for you, mate. Sword ain't gonna get you everywhere. Now see me, I use my fists. But when I ain't got my fists, I just teleport closer and hit it with my fist. You got me. I'm just kidding. I got a fucking gun. So, why don't we get you maybe
That teleport
nice,
option sound.
a nice boomstick or something.
What's a boomstick?
A shotgun.
You don't have to play coy. You live in this world, you know what a gun is.
Yeah,
Out of character, I've never heard of boomstick.
You never heard a shotgun called a boomstick?
No.
Me neither, man.
Really? Okay.
But to be honest, I'm not English speaker, so.
Nah,
No,
that's-
I literally used one like a
I thought
session
it-
ago.
Yeah,
My guess
yeah.
w-
Mine is metal.
My guess was it was a stick of dynamite, but I was asking just in case.
Oh. Listen, what the other gnomes had when we had Doretta. So you maybe get one of them. Find a bow. Or, I don't know. Throw a fucking rock. A nice sharp, pointed rock.
I will explore some options.
There you go. That's all I needed.
It would be a good idea to have some range, though. I have tried throwing things in the past and hasn't turned out. My aim is very. It has much that leaves much to be desired. So perhaps, an actual weapon would be preferable, not something that requires me to throw.
Oh, sure. Practice makes perfect. That we got a lot on our plate. You're gonna have a lot of targets here pretty soon. So yeah, we'll find you some. You get better with it in time.
Or, you know, if you want to try Eldritch Blast, I know a guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, just putting it out there.
I thought that was pretty good. I know a
So,
guy. Alright, let's go to the market.
yeah,
Find stuff.
you follow just a winding path into the wide cavern, buzzing with the sound of trade and chatter. You see stalls of every shape and size are clustered around the cavern, each sort of fashioned from stone, wood, and metal scraps that gnomes have salvaged and repurposed. Vendors call out, displaying everything from weapons to preserved fungi and colorful gemstones. The cavern itself holds a unique charm, with these tall stone stalks rising from the floor to the ceiling. Remnants of these enormous fungi that turned to stone long ago by some miscast spell. These petrified stalks loom like ancient sentinels, their rough, mineralized surfaces streaked in these shades of grey, green, and copper, casting peculiar shadows over the market below. A few vendors, have strung these glowing beetles, lanterns, from the top of the stalks, creating pockets of warm light that spill over the merchants and their wares. Jimjar scans this crowd and grins, elbowing you. There's Kazook Pickshine, he says, nodding toward a stall in the shadow of a particularly massive stone stalk. Odd fellow, but he knows his gems, and like I said, if you've got a weapon or a piece of gear in need of enchantment or an upgrade, here's your gnome. Rune swapping, gem infusions, you name it. At the stall, you see Kazook Pickshine, this wiry, sharp-eyed deep gnome with mauve-toned skin and a mess of silvery hair. He's leaning over this table, inspecting a sparkling gem with this jeweler's loop. Behind him, various tools and alchemical supplies are neatly arranged alongside a stonework device designed for the precise application of various magical runes and enchantments. Those of you more practiced in the arcana and the magic's arts see that Kazook offers services to folk looking to transfer magical properties for the gear. He can... I don't know, explain this. Yeah, what do you guys do?
That is quite the service.
I don't even think we got anything like that in Gracklestook. Having something like that with the plethora of items we have, I'm sure we can whip something up. And with the 2 artificers we have. I'm looking through magical items right now and maybe just getting some ideas, but unless anyone else has anything.
No one is using the Horn of Black Skull or the Green Flame Mace, correct?
Aranis technically has the mace.
Yeah, Aran is
Ranus
like,
has the mace.
we really need to stop talking about him like if he's not here.
I
Oh,
can
sorry,
do.
Aran.
I can do without draw artifacts, as Aranis. I have no issue parting ways with it.
Oh, he's pretty good with a bow anyway.
But we have this ring. It's a little bit damaged, but maybe the properties can be salvaged.
Are you talking
Ring
about
of Air Elemental?
the destroyed ring?
Yes.
It's destroyed.
I have to try.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know what dealings you had with the guy before, or your errand that you had to run. So one of you two, why don't you approach him and make good on the deed?
Yeah.
Turn these gems in. Let's get some money.
Yes, I'll approach to Kazook, Pikachu.
You see Kazook stalls like a
Big shot.
makeshift structure of stone and zirkwood, pieced together with meticulous care of someone who has an eye for detail. The table before you, in him, is strewn with curious assortment of deep known crafts and peculiar wares. Shelves on either side of the stall are lined with stone carved containers, odd jars holding shimmering powders, glass vials, and strange fluids. Stacks of uncut gemstones in various hues. There's a small iron cage that holds several glowworm beetles that emit soft light. Tiny gems and shards sparkle in the dim light, catching your eye, flickering like stars on the tabletop. So yeah, he offers uncut gems. There are several gleaming crystals in stone settings, fungal elixirs, dusts, stone carvings, even little statuettes glowing with magic.
Well,
Oh, all right, go and
Eric will
Wait,
go
for it.
up to the Eric will walk up to the stand, takes a look at all of the jewels that are on display, and he gives Kazuka compliments, talking about how find a look how, especially the ones that are crafted and cut. And he asked him
Yes.
sorry, continue.
No, I was just thanking you. You had a question?
What work do you do on? Do you perform work on armor?
I could, yes.
Do you have any?
I don't supply the armor and weapons which I enchant. You bring me the rune, and I transfer it onto another item of your choosing. I merely have the tools to do that. I have a plethora of gemstones, but I'm no armor smith.
I understand.
Talking about
'Cause it-
gemstones, we were asked to deliver this to you.
What's
From
that?
Drakelster. I bring a bag of spell gems to him.
So as you approach Kazukin present the sack, he muffles a startled gasp, glancing over his shoulder with like a quick, suspicious eye before waving you urgently deeper into his stall. Quiet, quiet! Sort of hisses, ducking his head as he ushers you in. Best not go waving mystery sacks around here. Now let's have a look. With nibble fingers, he opens the sack just enough to inspect the contents, eyes widening slightly as he inspects and weighs each gem by hand. His sharp gaze moves from gem to gem, then to you, studying each of you with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. But then satisfied, he carefully tucks the sack away and slips you a small, polished zircon, its crystallized facets gleaming in the low light. Good work getting this here. Now, try not to speak of it just again. Sort of casts a suspicious glance, yeah.
Why the secrecy inside your own city?
Why the questions? You were paid to be discreet. Remain so. Let's just say that if this gets out to the wrong people, it's my neck on the line. But what I do is for the good of the people. But we're few in number, and rumor spreads fast like wildfire. Let's not be seen or heard doing anything untoward the Dwega and their rulers.
Raygon said something similar when he gave us that parcel.
You have your payment as promised. I trust I have your discretion. Sort of casts as a suspicious eye, muttering under his breath, keeping greedy eyes away from my wares nowadays. But you look trustworthy enough, unlike certain others around here. Best you lot steer clear of old feuds, unless you want more trouble than gems can buy you.
I mean, with all candor and everything, why don't you tell us who we can't trust so at least we know who to look out for if you can't tell us anything else?
Best trust no one, is my
Yes.
philosophy.
Eric is about to say, best not mention it at all outside of this room with him.
Well, thanks you for the business, but is there anything else we could help you with this and the enterprise?
You could bring me business by paying me coin for my services.
I think that's a good idea. Like I said, we need some bows or something.
We'll get the coin.
It does look like a good service.
He
We'll
sort
be
of,
back with coin.
you do that. I'll be here. Do feel free to browse, see what catches your heart's desire.
A lot of fancy stuff in here.
Well, let's take a look around.
Sure. First thing that catches your eye is like this, like small stone carving figurines of gnomes, tiny animals, magical creatures, each like painstakingly detailed, clearly the work of a skilled artisan. Some have like faint arcane etchings, which Kazook swears provide good luck. Put one in your pocket, and if you're lucky, it will keep your wits sharp when danger's near. These items are known as luck stones. Better language-wise, increase your saving throws by 1 when you carry. Yes. I also carry fungal elixirs and dusts. You see like jars of blue-green fungal dust line the one side of the stall next to several vials of thick, iridescent liquid that glow faintly. Kazuki sort of explains as these are infusions of the Underdark and claims that they have useful properties such as enhancing dark vision for a short time or boosting one's resistance to poison or heightening senses. Of course, the potency varies, but even the diluted dust might be just what you need in a pinch. Otherwise, he sells just like gleaming crystals and stone settings, crystals that hold various like cantrips like light, heat, alarm, set in these sturdy frames. Sturdy tools for rough world. These could help you avoid an unpleasant surprise. Otherwise, his rune swapping prices are listed. If you're looking to swap just like a +1 bonus, it's like 100 gold pieces, 300 for like a +2, 800 for a +3. Otherwise, it can be like a K to a K and a half, depending on the item. For any special properties you want to like, transfer over from one item to the other.
Okay.
Yeah. And he sells mundane uncut gemstones if anybody's interested in that. Be useful.
These little figurines are adorable. How much are they?
I'll part with one for haggle with him. It's going to be a persuasion check.
Okay, here we go.
With a 20 persuasion, he's willing to drop down the price to 300 gold pieces. For a stone of good luck.
I mean, guys, it could be... I mean, collectibles like these only go up in value. I think that's a steal.
You can ask him to keep it, to save it for you.
I have plenty in stock, yeah.
Those mundane uncut gemstones, how valuable are those?
Like gemstones, kind of like buying an amethyst at the market. I ask for a price. They range from like 5 gold pieces to like as high as 50. Some of them can act as spell components, depending on what you're looking for.
I see.
I also sell diamonds if you're looking for something with more shine to it.
That's something I actually wanted to bring up. Look, this is all nice and flashy. Speaking to the group, you know, I'm sure we can make out with some nice things, but don't forget the oh my god, the name of the statue that we had earlier used its diamond up. May not be as flashy, but just having something simple like a nice diamond might come in handy for everything that we're about to deal with.
He opens lockbox. As it opens, glimmering inside are various diamonds, both in solid and dust form in little vials for whatever magic and purposes you might have, depending how much gold you have. He sells them.
Buzz, like, you see his, like, big smile comes on, because, like, dude, he's just greedy still. Like, he's still that greedy little Dwagar. And he's like, oh, these are nice. Just, like, looks him over and inspects him, and his eyes widen, and, you know, looks at his reflection in some of them, and very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The zircon we got them, how much is it worth, sir?
Zircon. Let me double check. I believe. Zircon. Then pays them for delivery with zircon worth 50 gold pieces.
50. Okay.
Aye, 50 gold towards a diamond. Could be nice.
I have on me a handful of uncut gemstones. They glow in the dark, very nice. And he's gonna take out the go into his bag and take out the bright crystals that he had used as a light source some time ago. It says from the other side of Dark Lake.
Singing stones, very nice.
How much would you pay for one of these?
Oh, I could take them off your hands for 5 gold pieces. They make for marvelous
Eric.
children's toys.
Eric nods. And he'll sell it to them.
Sure. He takes one of them, just kind of breaks a piece off, gives it a little ting before like throwing it on the floor and watching it as it explodes into like a bright flash like firecrackers. Oh, it was like this as a kid.
Oh, thank you.
You had these in your pocket the whole time.
Yes. You like them?
$5.
You a fan of them, Ezra?
Yeah, they remind me of me and my pop.
Hey man, 5 gold is 5 gold.
Memories are priceless.
Maybe we should sell some things we're not using. You know, invest in some of these figurines. Maybe we can get rid of that mace that no one's using, or doesn't want to use, rather.
I think we could check first what other jobs are in the city. We later can find how much coin we gather to get some for your collection.
I'm waiting for here now. I might as well just do it. I agree. If Rannis doesn't really care for the mace, if
No,
one
he
else
hands you the
wants
mace back to Eric.
Yeah.
I never grew attached to it. It is a foul instrument of the drow.
I understand.
I ask him, what could you appraise the mace at?
Flaming mace, 1 fire damage. I'll give you like 75 gold for it.
Make it 80.
Persuade him.
5 gold for this.
3, take it or leave it.
Where's my persuasion? Not good.
75
Or-
gold.
75
For
gold.
this-
I
for
see
this green
25.
flag, man.
75 gold pieces are being generous. I quite
I
frankly
know.
do not even know what to do with this item. I would have to find a used buyer for it, or perhaps one in Dareth Marov. I cannot pronounce the name of that city, but the main trading hub to the surface.
Your whole thing here is that you can take elements from one weapon and transfer it to another. You could have this on hand, put it on anything that anyone wanted, and make lots of money.
That's a service I do, I suppose. That's not a bad idea, yes.
Alright, I'll just take it for 75. I don't want to be here all day.
No,
75.
That is ridiculous. I am offended, sir.
Alright,
Blingdenstone.
you're offended. Offense
No, we
is
could-
not currency.
We could just take this and put it on a bow for Jim Jar or Eric. That would be much better. As much as I want one of those amazing little artifacts that he has, I want to line it up right next to the Guinevere idol that I have. Be amazing, but nonetheless, 75 gold is offensive, sir.
Okay. No, he says, like, I don't know.
We'll take our business to the drow.
No, the fuck we ain't. Look,
God-
75 gold. It's
God
yours.
speak to
It's
you.
fine. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Neat. I guess I'll find something to do with this.
So we sold it? Okay, let me take it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
75 gold is yours.
We
Shopping
still
session,
can't
let's
buy
go.
one of these figurines now. So now we're in the same place with 75 gold and no mace. So
80 gold.
We got 80 gold. And 80 gold could go towards a diamond to bring our dead ass back.
Well, if some of us can cast it, sure, but not yet.
Well, you better start putting them runes together in your head. All those magical symbols.
Give me the resources and I'll do it, but we need more than 300 diamond for that.
Other than that, I don't really see too much on the list. I would say this. Maybe we do that in RP. or something.
Yes.
Shopping. We can sell whatever else at a later time. 'Cause I think a lot of the stuff that everyone has, it's mostly claimed anyway. And I don't want to take away anything from Gizmo if he has. That'd be unfair.
We shall move on. Yes.
The pleasant
Yes.
hum.
Good day, sir.
The pleasant hum of the market is shattered by the sudden sharp clanging of a bell near the cavern's main entrance. The sound rings out, bouncing off the petrified fungal stalks and echoes across the grotto. Immediately, you see deep gnomes around you stiffen, their eyes wide with alarm, and you hear a voice shout from the direction of the main entrance. "Clear out! Oozes in the grotto!" The merchants scramble, drawing small, practical weapons, daggers, short swords, or stone-bladed tools, and retreat hastily to the edges of the cavern where they crouch behind overturned tables and carts. And in the midst of this, you see a gnomish guard stagger backwards, arms flailing as he's lifted slightly off the ground. There's a strange, faint shimmer surrounding him, revealing the nearly invisible form of a gelatinous cube that has engulfed his body, his surface undulating as it tightens around him. Can I get everybody to please roll me initiative?
It doesn't have two giant eyeballs in it, does it?
Cloud will standing right beside you.
Okay.
It's not me.
He's so stealthy.
As you guys are ruling your initiative, you see two gelatinous cube ooze into the grotto from a collapsed tunnel, their viscous bodies glistening as they advance, leaving a faint acidic trail that sizzles on the stone floor. Gnomes shout in alarm, a few calling out to one another in panicked voices. "Protect the stalls! Don't let them reach the storerooms!" One cube slides forward with this disturbing calm, its translucent surface containing flecks of stone and detritus as it moves toward the party and anyone else in its path. Ginger recognizes the guard trapped within one of them. "That's man! No!" And he seems desperate about that, very, very disturbed by the fact that his friend is in peril. The hardened Swiftneblan warrior within struggles against the acidic grasp. His face is visible through the cube surface, his expression twisted in pain as the ooze eats away at his skin and armor, slowly dissolving him. And you see, by your side, Glabgul surges forward, positioning himself protectively between you and these invading cubes, its surface vibrating slightly in a way that's just either distress or determination. Glabgul uses its telepathic voice to sort of reassure you guys, its voice resonating. I'll help keep them away." So we have then Glabgul definitely being in this combat. I do not have a battle map per se, unless I take a look here real quick. Ooh, let's do this one. I haven't used this one. Might as well. These are my emergency maps. They'll work. Alright, dude. Huh?
Is this the beach?
No, it's not the beach. So we have Eric, Isabel, Gizmo's with us in spirit. Go ahead and place your tokens as you would sort of be grouped up. Let's say this is the stall where you could talk to Kazook right here, and sort of where you would be. So Glubgul will be in the middle of the street, gazing around, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the gelatinous cubes entering. How's vision, by the way? Is it okay?
It's good. Yeah.
Can you give me 15 feet of bright light, 15 feet of dim?
Yeah.
Yeah, Self would probably still be arguing with the shop owner. We're gonna walk away, and you're gonna put that in the window for 500 gold on you. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay. And then we have definitely Jimjar in this. There we are.
I got Ginger. Relax, man. Don't do anything risky.
Who's also gonna roll initiative along with Global. Gelatinous Cube. And Gelatinous Cube.
We'll roll initiative again. Change it. I got 7.
Oh, you have new tokens for some reason.
What? Sorry.
What?
Yep, Isabel is in there twice for some reason.
I can only see myself once. That's why I roll again.
In initiative.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'll
think
just-
we cannot see ourselves.
It's okay, I'll just ignore it.
Yeah.
I'll just make sure I have everything here. And then we have a deep gnome guard inside one of these. Over here. Just sort of struggling. Let me read real quick. He's a veteran, so let me go ahead and adjust his HP before we start combat from the top. Ginger's gonna be first to act, followed by Bajarak. So go ahead.
Curious though, I only have 5 things on my turn order. I only see Jim Jar and then Glab. I don't see anyone else. I don't know if it... Should I reload?
I don't know if it's gonna help,
Okay.
but
I
try.
was curious.
I think Pong can see
The
it.
thing
It's
is,
just we
you
cannot
guys
see it.
rolled initiative on the old map, and then I rolled you guys into a new map with new tokens. So I have, I have initiative. I have initiative roll. I can just announce it. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's gonna.
I
be
just wanted to
Ginger-
make sure. Yeah. I just
Yeah, I
wanted
have
to make
Ginger,
sure I was
Bajarak,
ready for my
Eric,
turn.
Glabagul with a 12, beating Isabel with a 7, and Self with a 3. With the Genetulous cubes at 6 and 10, and 1. I'll go ahead and actually post it for reference in our chat. One of these, but it's gonna be Ginger then Bajarak.
Okay. Ginger see his friend that is being consumed. He looks to escape the vision of the gelatinous cube and hide as a bonus action. And I think he has advantage because he's deep now. Yes.
Just so you guys know, Glabagul is completely transparent.
I was just typing that.
Okay, well, he does his thing behind the wall and shoot with the hand crossbow.
Again, switch target. You have 2 gelatinous cubes just oozing toward the group.
The one eating his friend.
Okay. If it hits a 6 armor class, it penetrates through.
Here. And 2d6. Total 14.
14 damage. As the arrow begins to eat away and dissolve within the gelatinous cube.
And Ginger start grabbing, checking the gems to see if there is anything that can help his friend, like a bomb.
Like in the stall?
Yeah, in the stall. Anything looks explosive.
From the gnomish script that Ginger can read, they're mostly cantrip spells. You can pick any wizard cantrip, and a gem will have it.
Okay. That's it.
Fair enough. You also know the price of each gem. They're 50 gold pieces each, so you break it, you pay for it. Bajarak to go forth then.
I'm going to come 30. Oh, excuse me. Wait, was that 40 or 30? That was 40. Okay. I'll go 35 feet. 30 feet, and then maybe I should put this in my thing. What's the throwing distance of a hand axe?
2060?
It's 20. It's 2060. Okay. I was gonna take my action. Nah, you know what? I'll just go in for it. I'm gonna come up beside Eric, and I'm gonna use an action to use my dwarven magic and go enlarge self. And then I don't have much of a bonus action I can really do. I'm gonna do one bonus point. You take the dash, disengage, and dodge action as a bonus. Yeah, if I could just blow up to size large, and that's just gonna be my turn.
Eric?
Eric, hearing the shouts from a gnome in danger, he's gonna move up to this gelatinous cube and doesn't want to risk swinging his sword at it while the thing is in there, guy is in there, so he's gonna try and grab him and pull him out.
I'm just looking for it to see. A creature within 5 feet of the cube can make an action to pull a creature or object out of the cube. Doing so requires a successful DC 12 strength check. The creature making an attempt takes 3d6 acid damage.
Oh shit.
As you're putting your hands into the sizzling mass of the cube. 13 acid damage.
Thirteen.
13
The
meets and
pain,
beats.
you
Yeah.
know? Eric flinched when he felt the acid damage, but he still manages to pull the guy out. And while grappling the dude, he's gonna use his second wind and move 15 feet back with him, like sort of pulling him to safety without incurring opportunity attack. Because second wind does that now. That's so cool.
Neat. Thanks, lad. He just, as you're pulling him, Ramirez! As you're pulling him, is sort of pulling out this, like, gnomish looking crossbow and begins, like, loading it as you're pulling him by his crop, and he's just, like, already aiming down sights. As he takes his aim, Glabagul, like, works in tandem with him. So Glabagul, whoever's controlling him, can take his turn.
What happens if a gelatinous cube tries to engulf another gelatinous cube?
I'm pretty sure, like, they don't
Are they
care.
immune to acid damage or something?
They're not, but like at the same time, fuck it. I mean, like they both enter each other. They both enter each other's space because a creature entering a gelatinous cube space gets engulfed. So you'll be damaging yourself while damaging it, as they become one mass.
It's so weird. Yeah, I'm gonna dash forward.
Look,
It's a domain expansion battle. It's just who's who's strong.
Yeah, seriously, it's like that's weird. Like, who gets to eat who? I guess. Let's see how far he can get. On a dash, I think he's gonna have to dash up to here, hopefully, and that'll be his turn.
okay, making it Isabel's.
Okay, so we'll get next to Ginger and say, stop touching the stones. You don't have the coin for it. Shoot at the gelatinous cube.
Stop touching the stone spot. Didn't catch it.
The stones, like, do not grab anything we don't have coin. We are poor. 22 to hit, that's a hit. 17 fire damage to this boy.
Says them boiling and quivering, bubbling from the inside.
No bonus actions, that's it.
Okay. The latter of the gelatinous cubes squelches forth. It's very slow to move, but very determined. As it does so, it will go ahead and move up to its movement speed toward Eric and the deep gnome with engulf. With a squelching noise, it absorbs the two into itself, like so. Eric, go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw. It's going to be DC 12. Leap Gnome does a similar dexterity saving throw on his end. Succeeding and being pushed out. And you as well get pushed out as it sort of bounces against your bodies, separating the two of you momentarily there. No damage on the bounce. Okay. Neat. Self.
Yeah, I'll throw a hex onto this one, hexing strength, and I'll give it 2 blast, hoping to knock it back. So 15 of 14.
Anything above a 6 hits.
Okay, that will be 12 on the first one and 12 on the second one, and I'm going to knock him back 20 feet with that. Then I'm going to go stand by Jim Jar. Yeah, Jim Jar, we can't afford it. We spent all the money on a diamond to resurrect you.
Squelching, slowed, staggered. The ravenous Draglatinus cube dashes forth and toward. Why is it weird? Why is it being weird? This is 15. Toward Glabagool, engulfing it. All the while you hear a psionic sound reverberate throughout, bubble through the air. Join us, one with mass. As the two sort of amalgamate, Glabghoul rules a dexterity saving throw. I'll go ahead and roll that real quick. As Jimjar takes his turn at the top of initiative. You watch as Glabghoul gets immersed within the mass, engulfed within it, taking acid damage.
So, how does this work? Because if it enters Globaghoul space, it automatically takes the acid damage.
I'm on it.
Okay.
Ginger as before. He approach. He take aim. And shoot. At 20 for Ginger. Nice, good boy. What is this sneak attack? 4, 11, 20 piercing damage as Ginger take the opportunity that the ooze is opening up to absorb Glabs. He sees the organs somehow. And connect action, he's running out of there. Maybe too much running. That's Ginger.
Give him Badrak the turn as you watch Badrak the two masses engulf, but out of that amalgamation comes out Glabaghoul, slightly larger, more bulked up, as he absolutely becomes one with the Gelatinous cube, absorbing its mass into itself like one amoeba eating another, and one of the Gelatinous cubes is no more.
Packing on the pounds there. And,
I'm sorry, brother. Brother. All right.
His Glab's huge now.
No, just a little bulkier as he took on mass.
I'm gonna move 5 feet up, and I'm gonna be using a hand axe. So I don't want to punch right into acid. I'm gonna use a hand axe, and I'm just gonna go for just 2 attacks, and we'll go just normal.
Sounds
hand
good.
Axe.
Unarmored, weak
21.
target against your might. Stand no chance.
So that's 10 and 13.
Total
23 total.
23. Squelching damage.
He just has these big, like, just lunging attacks, just because of how much larger he is than, what he used to be. And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to use, what's it called? patient defense. And I'm going to spend 1 key point to take the disengage and the dodge action, just as a bonus action.
Neat. Giving Eric to turn. As with thumping
Sure.
steps, Basharak steps back. You see the mass wobble before Eric looming.
And seeing that now there's no one else inside of the gelatinous cubes, he doesn't hesitate to swing.
Both
12
hit.
damage with
Soft targets, easy combat.
for 12 and 13 damage.
Lacerating the cube in half as it begins to shrink down and ooze out its insides. It is the equivalent of bloody at this point. Fighting in tandem with Glabagool is the deep gnome. Glabagool can take his turn, if he so wishes. War pick in hand, and deep gnome swings wide, trying to pierce the form and lacerates apart this gelatinous cube. Glabagool.
Yeah, Globagool's gonna attack. Gonna whip out at him. 16 to hit for
Yep.
9 acid damage.
Giving Isabel the initiative to pile on.
Okay, she take a knee, take aim, and shoot at it.
Natural 20!
Another.
Eh,
And
30,
Is that all
35,
damage?
39 fire damage, yes.
Holy
Jeez.
39 fire damage. With
How
a
do you want to
cantrip.
blow up this gelatinous cube?
Yeah, like the gelatinous cube is trying to absorb them, and as he's doing it, he exposed itself, and it shot like the middle and start like consuming it as it evaporates into the air.
And so, as it evaporates, finally dissolving away, the deep gnomes around you emerge cautiously from their hiding spots, eyes wary as they scan the cavern for any lingering threats. A few merchants approach the scene, inspecting the aftermath with like a mixture of relief, worry. Mev, the guard, is grateful but visibly shaken, taking a moment to catch his breath and thank you as he inspects his wounds, a few burn marks across the skin, his face slightly scarred from the acid. You see one of the other gnomes, an older merchant with like this practical yet wary look, approaching, nodding respectfully. Thank you for stepping in. Seems like these ooze incursions are becoming more frequent, dangerous too. They're slipping in from collapsing tunnels, pushing further into our reclaimed spaces. Cyril glances over his shoulder, his expression darkening. There's fear there. The outskirts aren't safe these days. Many of us avoiding going near the northwest tunnels altogether, especially since the old cave-in started breaking down. A nearby guard speaks up, sort of picking up Mev by the shoulder, still sort of catching his own breath. We've tried to keep the outer sections of the city sealed off, but stone walls and barricades don't hold as they used to. Whatever's out there, it keeps on coming. And you see the gathered gnomes nod grimly, clearly unsettled by the challenges pressing in on Blingdenstone. Despite this apprehension, you sense a slight change in the way they look at you. There's a cautious gratitude in their eyes, an unspoken acknowledgement that your help is quite welcome, as your relationship with the gnomes goes ever upwards.
Did they react to fire in any different way?
They weren't as flammable as those awful oil slick gelatinous cubes. It seems like the different oozes have different properties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they didn't seem to react any. They were, affected by it, not immune to it, but didn't like explode out like oil slicks.
Yeah. And we might for these handling these two, child's play. But if we're gonna go up against more of these, we need to find some better way to tackle them head on. Hacking them apart is getting too close to them to be engulfed.
If we're gonna rest here, we don't want them to take us while we're resting. Maybe we should talk with the leaders. They could give us some equipment and we could take care of them.
Hang on.
Hopefully, but I wouldn't
You
bet on it.
You
Yes.
mentioned that the wall. Eric talking to the
Yeah.
deep gnome said you mentioned that the wall is failing to hold them back. Is this occurring right now? Or
Yes, it's occurring right now. They point toward a section of rubble to the east over yonder on the map. And further beyond, you see more rubble sealing off passages. Some of them purposely collapsed. More toward the north. Other sections of the caverns have these locked gates that still stand guarded.
Well, since
we should deal
have-
with the. We should deal with the oozes that are right on their doorsteps before we go talk to anyone.
We don't know how many are they beyond the tunnels, Eric. We can deal with them, but it's better if we are prepared for them.
Jimjar shares some insight. You guys are walking in the Trader's Grotto next to the barracks and the residential caverns. This whole section of the city is but 1/5 of what Blingdenstone was. The rest, beyond the gates and the rubble, is ruin. What is known as rock blight or other sections of the city, overrun by monsters, oozes, other threats. This will not be a simple one encounter undertaking. This is a force of 300 swift Neblins are struggling with, yet alone one party.
Yes, it sounds like we should talk to leadership first and see what's the most urgent.
Yeah, we have wild oozes, rampage elementals, and feral were-rats, which I say we should put to death.
I'm sorry, you want to run that past me again?
I mean, they say that are just feeding. They are not like you. They have not mastered their inner beasts. They are just beasts.
More than just beasts. They just haven't been given the proper time to develop their inner strength. With time and dedication, you might be able to get through to some of them. If we can get some of them on us, they're stealthing, they're scouting. Some of the whale rats that we have at the Goldfang Tower, at the monastery, great fighters, great at stealthing. I think there's something more. We don't have all the facts yet. I'm not just going to be going in and just euthanizing them. There's always more to it. Sometimes they just need a bigger leader, just someone to guide them.
Well, maybe they should be the second place we stop, trying to breathe into our side. But I hope you're right. We don't get turned.
Something you might want to be careful of. Look, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's go talk to the head leaders, see what they deem to be most important. I'm sure they can guide us better than what we are aimlessly doing right now.
Yeah, not to mention there might be some kind of a reward for doing some of these things, and we desperately need money. So. Also, did you see Probagul eat that other ooze?
Yeah, what was that about?
No, seriously, that was
feels so
amazing.
good. Was that cannibalism technically?
I think that's more of a merger and acquisition than anything, Labs. That was amazing. Up to the leadership, Jimjar.
If you guys wish to go toward what is called the Digger Mattock Hall, that'll be toward the south. Jimjar will gladly lead you away. Nobody else needs anything else from the market for the time being. We're gonna save that for RP, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we
please.
just selling stuff later.
Sounds
We'll
good.
kind of like telepathically float the idea of blackmailing that shop owner to people. What we're doing it. I mean, we have dirt on him, right? He told us that we need to keep our mouth shut. I mean,
Want to gain some good favor, but we have nothing against him to really do that. But it's also not in the Dwagar way. We don't really go too far into the deceit. I want to work harder. If I wanted to overdo him or anything,
Roll me
I'd be like, haha.
insight, Bajarak, as you say that.
Okay.
You say that's not the Dweger way.
Insight.
Insight. And you catch, but don't quite understand the full reason behind it. Aranis, like, he's usually composed and he's walking with hands clasped before him, not trying to draw too much attention. But when you say that's not quite the Dweger way, he just can't help but lift an eyebrow or give you a side glance and maintain that glance for a good 3 seconds before returning back to his forward gaze. He mumbles something under his breath about your king.
From what I read in the journal, what was published, if you want to work harder, like, sure, the king probably does his stuff, like, his way. He has all the lairds squabbling all the time, so he can work in his shadows and everything. But for us, like, the Dwegar, they're like, if I want to, like, be better and do whatever, like, I'll work harder and I'll prove myself better. That's the angle I'm going at.
Mm-hmm. Some key buildings that you guys are walking past as you make your way. Right here where you guys stand is sort of a staging area that you're walking past. You step into what looks like a large fortified cave where the stone walls are like lined with like these rugged barricades forming makeshift defenses and vantage points for the guards stationed around chamber. You count maybe like 8 deep gnomes, warriors standing alert, each with like wary, seasoned gazes, their weapons close at hand. By their sides, are these sturdy, huge cave badgers, their claws digging slightly into the ground, eager and ready for action. You know there's no sign of like stone elementals like in the rest of the city. Those stone elementals that usually reinforce Blingdenstone's defenses. Instead, there's an imposing sealed door here on the north wall that commands attention. Its surface marked by both locks and ancient engravings. You get the sense that whatever lies beyond is not something the deep gnomes take lightly. There, you just note a few faces. There's like this grizzled deep gnome with like iron gray hair and a few missing teeth. And you guys are just like walking past this gate. If you wish to explore, you can, but Jimjar keeps going south if you want to go straight to leadership. Just noting it as you guys pass by. Other than that, those of you more perceptive looking around as everybody else is conversing can read Gnomish. I think you, Isabel, especially would be able to read a very large print message cast upon the door. Warning of sorts. I'll paste it in just a moment.
Okay.
I can't quite find it, but the long and short of it seems to be a positive warning by the Enclave of Stone Druids, telling that no elementals are to pass this point. Past this point, the elemental evil lies and makes its lair their reign, sort of thing.
Okay. So only elementals can get in.
No elementals past this point is the clear
Okay.
message. There's almost like a palisade away from the door that marks the zone where they keep elementals away from this door and whatever lies beyond.
Okay. I was clarifying, but I get it.
As you guys keep on moving southward, this is gonna be toward Ligamark Hall. It's been a while since Jimjar has been here. So give me a second here. Yeah, you'd be moving in this direction, back toward the residential area, up these stone steps toward this platform here. It's a place called Ligamark Hall. As you step into the cavernous hall, the hum of activity is immediately evident, immediate, intense. Entering the hall, you see nearly 24 deep gnomes. They move swiftly through the space, some with like leather messenger pouches strapped to their sides. They weave between tables as they deliver messages, while others huddle in close groups, poring over maps, scrolls, and reports scattered across stone tables. Low, serious voices fill the air as they speak in hushed tones, their focus rather unwavering despite you entering. At the back of the room you find yourself in, a raised stone dais commands attention, atop which two large stone desks face each other. Seated at the desks are the de facto leaders of Blingdenstone, Dorbo and Seni, Ligomatic. Dorbo seems to be a sturdy, deep gnome with a determined expression, an air of quiet authority. He exchanges occasional words with his advisors while studying a set of documents. Across from him, Seni, her sharp eyes are constantly on the move, her expression thoughtful and precise as she consults with her own group of advisors, her finger tracing points on a map before her. The pair turn their attention to you as you enter. Dorbo offering a curt note of acknowledgement, while Seni maintains a gaze, measuring and assessing you guys. You see the male of the two, Dorbo, waves you closer, leaning forward with a genuine interest on his face. So, you've had dealings in the Underdark, so I hear, through Divine? Word travels fast through my city. I have received word from the gate when you first arrive. We'd like to hear of these dealings, especially anything about the recent disturbances.
Yes. We have trouble from Gracklstock. The city was being manipulated by demons. Seems like other parts of the Underdark are suffering something similar, if not worse.
You see Seni's gaze sort of soften slightly as she listens, clearly invested in hearing what you have to say. The choice is yours, guys. The roleplay is yours. How much of this do you want to divulge to them?
I'll give you the cliff notes. Basically, the demon princes are making appearances down here in the Underdark, and we're about to drown in a demon tide. So it's not looking too good right now. That's the cliff notes.
You sort of recount your encounters with these demonic influences, perhaps? Maybe even some of the oozes. You see they exchange glances, leading in even more interested. Strange things have been creeping closer to us, even here. Seni murmurs, our safe haven is yours, provided you keep to the peace.
Peace is easy to keep, but it's the what do I say? It's the your own townsfolk tends to make it a little bit harder on yourselves. What I'm trying to ask is, with all your stuff that you've got going on, and what I've said, and what we've experienced with the demons, any of your gnome folk been acting strange, weird, kind of seem a bit off?
Some, they say. They explain that the gnomes more isolated away from inner Blingdenstone, those on the outer outskirts, have been growing more corrupted of sorts, becoming enticed by greed or whispers of madness. Abyssal influence that matches claim reports from you, from their scouts. Something much bizarre is on the horizon. But before they divulge more information, they turn to you and ask, what is it you're here for? What is it you seek? Yeah.
Well, right now, short-term goals, we need somewhere to rest. We've been on the road for days. We need to replenish supplies as we're making our way to the surface.
The surface.
When we reach the top, we need to reach out to the large cities. Oh my God. Waterhaven, Baldur's Gate, Gizmo, where you from? Candlekeep. All the big places, the institutions, places with massive backings of something. I'm going to try and mount an offensive and come back down.
I'd like to help you,
look-
truly, but Blingdenstone is stretched thin as is. Our people are under enough strain. We can't afford to send anyone to guide you up yet. But... And he sort of glances towards Sally, and she shakes her head. Guidance, maps, these are sacred here. We can't let outsiders use them, especially when we have so many concerns pressing down on us.
Yes. We can
Well, if you-
alleviate some of those concerns for you.
There you go. We can strike a deal.
Hopeful glances between the two of them. Sandy's the first to speak, her tone brightening slightly. There are a few ways you could lend us a hand. We could use more able hands to manage some of the threats pressing on us. And she points toward 2 pages, each labeled Operation Exterminate and Operation Who's There. She shifts uneasily, her fingers drumming against the stone desk as she speaks. First, there's the Rare Rats of the Golden Whisper clan. They're a point of contention. They're territorial, defensive, fierce. Dorbo thinks they're in the way, taking up space that our people could use. But I believe they're descendants of Blingdenstone, worthy of a place here. You hear Dorbo scoff, but he doesn't interrupt, sort of letting her continue. I'd like to try talking to their leader. If they're willing to work with us, we might avoid needless bloodshed. Your report will determine whether we aim for peace or if Dorbo's harshness approach is warranted. Dorbo leans back, his arms crossed. If there's any hint of cooperation with them, that might shift things, but don't let your guards down. They've attacked before, and they'll do it again, if they'll get a chance.
Were these attacks at random? Were you... I'm just asking questions. Any prodding on either side? Did they seem like they had a reason to attack, other than just being malicious?
They don't seem to have had time to really analyze the exact causation of this conflict.
Okay.
But people were hurt, and that's really the bottom line, right? They are, at least Sonny, is looking for peace, a truce. But if that can't be achieved, then clearly Derby wants to take measures so that no more gnomes are hurt in the process. They didn't have time to investigate this, but should you brave venturing out to the war ends, that would much aid them.
I'm sure we can take a
Something
look.
we can do.
I myself am all for that one, but you said you had more.
Well, yes. There's another matter. Dorwin nods gravely, gesturing toward a map marked with sections of the settlement. We suspect something foul is on the northwest. Oozes have been sleeping in, spreading their filth through our tunnels. If you bring back any information on the source of this plague, we'll make it worth your while. He sort of points to a specific area on the map to the northwest of Blingdenstone. Something there is driving them to us. He goes on to promise a valuable spell gem as payment if you return with solid information, or outright eliminate a threat if you're capable.
We can do that too, but I wanted to ask about the elementals. They have saying that they are going mad, and I could not notice the gate over there. saying that the elemental evil was beyond that gate. What's that's all about?
Oglaroch's Bane, we call it. It is a presence, a cloud of manifested evil. They find it hard to phrase in words. This is a thing beyond this plane that seems to possess elementals by its sheer presence. Every time they try to venture out there with scouts, with elementals in hand, elementals turned against gnomes. Gnomes were killed in process, and the elementals were lost. They go on to recount how this presence has been there for a while, even since the days when the Drow brought their own planar elementals in their battle and war against the gnomes. They too suffered losses on their side to this very same evil. It seems to be malevolent, taking no sides.
Do you think this is what affecting the other elementals in town?
Other elementals in town, in inner Blingdenstones, aren't affected because of being kept away from the outskirts, where this manifestation has made its lair.
Okay, I thought like in other areas they were also going mad. My bad.
You should speak to our stone druids for more insights on that matter. We are spread thin, focused on our own tasks, and they again show toward their maps. And their main concerns right now are the were-rats here and the oozes, these main threats. But if you are curious to learn more about this threat, perhaps the druids would have more information there.
And who amongst the druids can we find to talk to?
The leader.
Like a leader.
Yeah.
Do you have a name?
Yeah, I do. I'll have to look it up real quick.
Okay.
Well, are you looking for it?
I am.
Okay.
You can still speak.
I'm just writing notes. I just wanted to.
And can you tell us any more about this uncontrollable, disgusting greed? Because I think that we just ran into one of your shop owners that are afflicted with it.
The head priest of Calduran Smoothhands in the Stoneheart Enclave is named Gurnik Tapfinger. I'll go
We need
ahead.
to take care of this.
Paste their name, The Rain, for those of you who like notes. You can find them over in a place called the Speaking Stones. Not far from here, actually. The Speaking Stones is a little enclave to the north. Yeah.
Okay. I think I made some mistake. I think I put Gornick Tap Finger like the dead druid we found. I have to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to ask, since you've been dealing with the oozes a lot more probably than what we have a little bit, have you found anything in particular to combat these things? The ones that we came in, we met a bunch of miners with the Doretta. Fire seemed to work pretty well on them, but the ones we just met in the streets, not the same story. Have you found anything that might be, I don't know, worth investigating into or looking in?
Well, I don't know about investigating, but if you're asking for tools to battle the oozes, the scientists of Blingdenstone have been, the alchemists specifically, have been developing concoctions from fungal specimens retrieved from Neverlight Grove that have proven to provide resistance against acidic properties of these very oozes. They have none on hand and need a resupply from Neverlight.
Okay.
To conjure some en masse. But that's as far as the research went. Unfortunately, they're spread thin. The arrival of heroes, adventurers, and explorers such as yourself is most welcome.
Speaking of that, do you have some kind of mark of favor or something like that that we can give our, compatriot Globagul here? People are kind of looking at him funny, as you can imagine.
He's already earned a name himself. The Tamed Ooze of Blingdenstone. He's something of a recognition on sight status. But what did you have in mind? Were you looking for like a medal?
I don't know. Yeah, if you have like a badge or I don't know, something with the emblem of the city on it that he could,
They
put
side-eye
inside
each
of his
other.
form.
Wouldn't he simply devour anything we hand into his body?
Not anything. You see, there's some skulls and stuff like that floating around. Actually, we should probably remove those. It's not a good look, Globs. But I don't know. Maybe something made of glass.
I suppose something can be arranged.
Maybe a
Don't
nice
wanna
rock.
break people.
A rock will
I-
last a while.
Yes, their elementals have proven effective against defending inner Blingdenstone from oozes, rock being resistant. But glass is a curious suggestion, to which they will inquire into that. This is a request that's being brought to them all of a sudden, so they'll have
You
to.
know, it's okay. I don't want to trouble you. What does your sigil look like? Something that they, you know, do you have a symbol of your house or of authority of something like that? You just show it to me.
Sure, there is. Blingdenstone does not really have a flag, and the gnomes are not very good at keeping history and lore of their people. Their traditions are more maintained in their blood. But nonetheless, the Miners Guild has a neat-looking symbol that you can spot on one of nearby walls, sort of emblazoned upon like an iron-looking shield, a set of cross pickaxes, and pretty looking almost like diamond-like stone in between them.
All right then. As big as I can, maybe a few times, I'll use prestidigitation to replicate that mark in, on, and around Globagool, just to make sure no one attacks him on accident or fears him or, you know, calls the gods on him or anything.
We are gonna need everyone for this. But Aranis, he's spent. He's got some major healing to do after coming back from that. But what about you, Jim Jaw? You up for it?
Sure, good as ever. Anything to help my people.
That's a boy. Well, before we decide any further, why don't we pick one? What are you guys feeling?
Like we can accomplish both.
No, I mean we can pick both. I'm saying which one do you want to go to first?
I think that maybe the one that's the most urgent is the were-rats, because you feel as if, you know, an understanding can be come to, and I personally think that if this city is going to be under siege from demons, then you want all hands on deck, including were-rats.
To be honest, I think the oozes are more urgent. They are getting inside the city, and they're low on numbers already.
It is true, they are snatching gnomes.
Yes. What do you think, Eric?
What does the Lordling have to say?
I feel that the oozes also are just as important. We've been here for less than a day, and already we've run into incidents with them twice.
In the background, somewhere in the distance, through your shivers and sense of connection with the city, as little as you have it, you hear them. Bells in the distance, echoing throughout the tunnels. Another alarm raised against the oozes. They're
Whose is
relentless.
it is, then? Should we stop by the alchemist first?
Yes.
I would say that's a good one. Alright, Ooze it is. But
Yeah.
as soon as we're done, we're going right to the others. I want to
Stopping
know more about what's happening.
by
We'll
the
have to prepare
alchemist for
that
what?
one.
For why?
Why are we going to the alchemist? Because
Yeah.
you said that there was that they were coming up with ways of neutralizing the acid from the ooze?
Which requires supplies from Neverlight Grove, yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, we should bring our bright lights and
They have
work
been
on you.
constantly being supplied by this reagent, but recent deliveries has stopped completely. They've been expecting gnomes to come back from their week-long trek from Neverlight, but they've never returned.
Well, let's hit the tunnels on the east, see what we can find out.
Yeah, but some of the... You sure you don't want to maybe get a game plan? I mean, maybe we should go get like a nice stick. Like a big old 10-foot stick, hold it in front of us. Those suckers could be right in front of us. We'd walk right into them. It's like, we gotta be smart about this. They might be slow, but once they start engulfing all of us, there's no getting out.
All right,
We know
well,
fire hurts... Well, I'm simplifying. Fire hurts the green ones. I don't know, maybe... Does anyone have access to, like, cold magic or something to slow them or, like, freeze them and bust a chunk off or something? I don't know.
I mean,
I just want to be prepared is what I'm saying.
maybe we could just swing by the alchemist and see if they found any weaknesses or anything. That might be something. They've been studying them.
Yeah, at least they've been studying them.
And
May not
Nick,
have resistance.
if you're looking to purchase like a 10-foot pole that will assist you with like prodding anything ahead of you, or you know, making high jumps, long jumps, whatever, it's like 5 copper pieces.
Cool, I'll take it. I want a 10-foot rod.
Yeah, 10-foot rod. It's called pole in the Capodium.
Okay.
P-O-L-E.
Pole.
Maybe we should stock up on torches or lanterns and things like that. I can have one in front of me with my mage hand, and maybe that will run into an ooze before it runs into us. Oh! Around the campfire, didn't someone mention something about a little dagger that could warn us?
It's gone.
Oh, that's gone. Yeah, there was a memory then.
Yes.
Well, that would have been very useful.
But how do you know that? I was thinking on that last night. I didn't mention it to anyone.
You know, that's not important. Let's go to the alchemist.
All right.
My eyes are suspicious.
Asking, frankly, what are you guys looking to get from the alchemist here?
Just swing by and seeing if they know anything about them that we don't. Any, weaknesses. Like they mentioned that like some of them can be ignited by fire. Maybe they have some other weaknesses that we're not aware of. If not, then we'll, make our way over to the ooze section.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that they're not gonna be helpful there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if
and-
there might be like some different strain of ooze that it's like, oh, this is other than the ooze that we actually the ooze that took Jeff over or Gizmo
Yes.
that kind of took his form and everything.
The
I remember
Oblex.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Oblex. Unfortunately, I wasn't on that side, so I didn't see it. So I'm staying true to what Boz knows, but
Mhm. An Oblex is a known thing. These entities are experiments, slimes and jellies and puddings of the Underdark that have been taken by mind flayers and specially bred. They're capable of assaulting minds of other creatures. They're very cunning. They're sentient. The hunters that feed on thought and memories. The sharper the mind, the better the meal. So Oblexes like hunt targets more likely to be intelligent, attracted to like wizards and spellcasters and the like, right? And when a suitable flare sort of comes to reach, it draws its body up to sort of engulf the victim, often acting as an ambusher. As it withdraws, it just sort of plunders your mind, leaving its prey befuddled, confused, or outright dead. When they feed on thought, they can form like weird copies of their prey to use as lures, which has been what has been luring these gnomes away.
Yeah.
And helps them like harvest even more victims for their... What the gnomes are suspecting are mind flayer masters, right? But they only have rumor to go on. That's what they know about Oblexes. From what you have observed about Oblexes, the smaller specimens are vulnerable to fire. But like all oozes, they're slow, undulating. They don't have any ocular organs, so they cannot be like blinded. They're probably don't even have a mind for you to assault per se, so things like charm spells will probably not work against them. And they're oozes, you know, you can't hire an ooze, you can't prone an ooze. There's no ears, so you can't deafen an ooze. And they're using other senses to sense their surroundings, so from a certain radius they won't be able to detect you whatsoever, because either be a tremor sense or other senses that they're detecting you, they don't have ocular vision, so to speak, so they're easy to sneak up on somewhat if you spot them first.
Yeah. Look, I hope this doesn't happen, but this is just kind of giving me the EBGBs. If one of those is to take over us, say one of us is just, you know, takes a hit for the team, how would we know to tell each other apart?
They will know.
In case we get separated, though, too.
They will know whatever we know. So,
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we should think of something before going in. Be smart about it. If we get separated, you know, something happens to someone.
like,
You guys ever see the movie The Thing?
yeah, but I think no, I haven't. But
Okay.
I think whatever we know, if we got separated and one is taken, they will know it. So if for what we have seen, the best we can do is to prove that we are us, burn your hand. They react violently to fire. Should give us a result.
Yeah, but
Maybe
that
not.
hurts.
Yes, I agree.
It's worse than getting melted alive, though.
So
What
we
do
all
we know?
agree.
Do they take the memories too? Is that something that they do?
Yes.
Damn, I need to learn how to do that. Well, the safe word wouldn't work.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Only fire will let us know what we are. But no passcode, no secret language will let us pass by it.
Alright, then if that's the signal, if we get separated, something happens, I don't know. Better have a fire source. Might want to get yourself a tinderbox if you ain't got one.
It's too bad that Gizmo is not here because I will be burning him at this point.
Jesus. That's true.
Well, you made it clear that you don't want Uranus to set out with you guys, fearing that his resurrection sickness is going to get the better out of him and he'll perish once more. He still nonetheless wants to be useful. Is there anything you wish for him to do while he's in Blingdenstone and you're away? Food for thought.
Since, I would maybe say, like, since we don't have, well, hey, if he wanted to, like, make some hand maps, since we don't really technically have access to them, or at least yet.
Hand
if he wants
maps
to,
of
like,
what?
hey, just the city, he could just go around taking notes and just being like, hey, when we return, hopefully with a giant army, this will serve as, like, a rest stop and, you know, take maybe account of supplies or help with,
Sure.
you know, just anywhere he can, just to, you know, try to anticipate what might come.
Mine is
Yeah.
a smaller ask if he can learn more about the elemental evil.
Why don't you just go and speak to the druids in the speaking stone, says Jim Jar? They're right there.
Because we're going to the oozes first, man. Like, Aradis, you wanna be useful?
Are you on nose candy or what's the rush?
That booger sugar.
The bells are.
We'll
The
stop. We'll
oozes
stop
were
at the
here
druid.
long before we arrived, and they're gonna be here long after we.
To the druids, my guys.
We're not going to the druids.
All right. I'm not having my NPC quest for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have him speak to my NPCs, learn information, and relay it over to you guys.
Yeah.
What I need you to do is pick me up a cookbook and some cooking supplies, and then go stake out that shop owner. Keep eyes on him while we're gone. I want to know what he's up to.
Do you have a preference of culinary? You know what? Never mind.
I don't know. Whatever the gnomes eat, I don't know what gnomes eat.
I will try and find something on brains.
Yes, that'd be great. If you could figure out a way for me to absorb memories through eating brains, that is the ultimate goal. Thank you.
Aranis goes to hurl.
I would also say this to Aranis. They have what seems like a copious amount of gemstones and salt and natural products and everything. But see what...
Yeah.
I guess if we could get access, or if we'd have to go to the smithy and see if we have access to silver.
We do, says
Okay.
Jim Jar.
I don't know.
Do you want to silver your weapons?
At some point, possibly.
It's 100 gold pieces on top of your weapon price.
Okay.
If you ever want a service, they have blacksmiths. They have a blacksmithing district, and that's just that.
Yeah.
I love
Do
how
they have,
guys,
like...
you guys are asking Aranis to go and get insights on the city, and like Jim Jar is like right there, like I have all the insights on the city. Like,
Aranis, take 5 then. Recover.
Yeah.
You almost died.
Then go take a nap, my dude.
Cookbook.
Your health
Cookbook,
goes
got it.
first.
I'll go grocery
Your health
shopping.
goes first. Yes.
Ideally, Aranis, if you think you could earn some money, I think that would be a huge help.
Get a job.
My boy, he needs to rest. He's got fucking resurrection sickness, and he's like, hey, go get a job, you bum.
He'll do his best.
Look, I'm just trying to portray as like, if we're coming back here, make good with the people, be a little diplomatic.
No,
help
I get
with,
it. It's
you know,
on
the
me. I
leadership,
asked.
and-
I get it.
I know.
I mean, did we, when we were talking to the Digomatic, did we convince him? Is it agreed that should the demonic incursion come, can we use this as a foothold? As a stronghold for forces?
Well,
We
let's
haven't
maybe
mentioned
gain,
that.
yeah, let's maybe gain some good favor with them, and then maybe bring them into it a little bit later.
I mean,
Yeah.
the deep gnomes have no reason to refuse you that. They want to
Yes.
survive just as much as you do.
All right,
And
then.
Blingdenstone is a fortress.
Yes, and like it's like a empty fortress for the most part too, right? Like there's huge portions of it that have been overrun that we could use for
A
garrisoning
fortress
troops and
held by
stuff like that.
300 gnomes to the best of their ability, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
He's
The
like
wall from Game of
Spartans.
Thrones, yeah.
but it's
the
very much
Spartans,
defendable, is what I mean. Like the gnomes want to survive, so James R will confirm this. Logic follows. Should you work with them, they'll work with you. And they seem to be in the know about some abyssal incursion. They just don't have the same full scope that you guys have. But they're good people, and they will work with you. I'm just looking to see confirm here. You guys can set out if you wish to, but if you want context, I have the Speaking Stones encounter here with the druids.
We can do it when we come
With
back.
frankly speaking, a quest. I'll just say it out loud. If you
I
guys
mean,
wish to
it's
skip it, then that's fine. It will just help you in the future if you engage it.
I mean, it's on the way to the oozes. We might as well stop by.
Let's stop by the droids.
All right.
Nick is
Alright.
like, "Oh, it's so much. You have not been here for Dragosuk, have you?"
I was there when we went to the Worms. I don't know how
Yeah,
much you
well-
guys did before the Wormstone tunnels.
We have a session of just collecting quests. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for
It's
everything
true.
else though. As soon as we
Yeah.
came back from the tunnels, we basically just turned it in, and then we just immediately left.
Well, they had like a party of us turning quests. Like 10 people, random people, just met us like at the castle. to
Collecting
turn the
quests, visit their unique locations. Handing them all in, I'm just gonna break them all into one console. Like, I'm not having you guys visit every single hand-in spot. That's just a waste of time. Yeah.
Yeah. To the druids.
Okay. Indulge me, if you will, as you guys make your way to the Speaking Stones, following Jimjo's lead here. Making this quick. As you enter the small, unassuming cavern, you're struck by the sight of like a circle of like these ancient stones, menhirs, standing solemnly at a center. Each stone is like roughly hewn, worn with age, and arranged like a way that speaks of reverence, even mystery. The cavern floor feels very solid, yet there's a faint, almost imperceptible hum beneath your feet, a subtle vibration in the bedrock, as if the stones are resonating with something deep within the earth. The locals call these the speaking stones, and you notice a few deep gnomes priests from the Stoneheart Enclave kneeling respectfully near the stones, their hands pressed against the earth. They occasionally murmur in low tones or cast small divination spells, watching for any shifts in the vibration underfoot, reading the earth's response like sacred text. These stones are venerated by the deep gnomes as ancient, perhaps divine embodiments of their gods, possibly even dormant, ancient Galabdur from a time long before Blingdenstone's founding. As you guys inspect this area, one of the priests, a calm and earnest deep gnome with this weathered set of hands and a thoughtful gaze, approaches you. Gurnik Tapfinger, the head priest of Kalduran's cult circle, offers a respectful nod as he draws near. Welcome, travelers. I sense you have an interest in the old ways. Have you come to commune with the guardians of Blingdenstone's soul?
Yes, but we also come to ask if you received the body of your fallen. We're the one who's found them.
Word travels fast, and your kind deed did not go unnoticed. Indeed, she has been interned in the Ruby in the Rough. A service will be held, and she shall be returned back to the Earth Mother and the Stone Father.
We hear that the elementals are starting to go mad after this gate.
Are you truly here, willing to help?
Yes, if you tell us more about it, we will see if we can be useful.
Then I would ask a great favor of you. Our temple to Calderon, in a place we call Rockblight, has been desecrated by a malign force that you have known as Ogremoch's Bane. It's a dark influence that has poisoned that sacred ground, and we need it purified. He pulls a small ruby spell gem from a pouch. The gem glints faintly in his hand. Here, take this gem. It contains the power to cleanse the steadfast stone. A man here at the temple's heart. But be warned, when you place it, Ogremoch's servants will come to stop you. You must hold them off until the gem's magic awakens the temple's guardians. Only then will the temple be purified.
Okay.
If you succeed in this, Kalduran's blessing shall be upon you, and I can offer a blessing of protection or a blessing of a weapon as a mark for your bravery and of the god's favor.
Sounds not too shabby.
So these servants of his, what exactly are we talking about here?
Corrupted elementals, things from the plains of earth and mud and dust.
Earth, mud, and dust. Got it.
Constructs, elemental in nature, yeah.
You say that the stone communicates to you. What does it say lately?
These ancient stones help us divine, commune, and augur with the gods. You are familiar with the arcane of the augury and the communion with the divine. These seem to be a conduit of that.
I bring out the stone giant stone, trying to see if it resonates or anything alike in this place.
Indeed it does. Seems to reverberate with the same sort of energy that hums throughout this place like a heartbeat of the earth itself. You feel it vibrate in your hands in oscillating patterns. It's of the same element.
Yeah. basically, I'm trying to see if there is like a place in this site that is hidden or locked by a key. Uh,
Like, are you looking for secret doors? You'll find none here.
yes. Okay, that's it. Similar to stone giants, I see. Maybe we can learn more after we cleanse the temple of Ocnum, Spain.
To be frank and specific, as he asks the party to undertake this task, should you accept it, to go off this closed-off area in the old city known as Rockblight, where the temple of their god stands desecrated, you're given a ruby spell gem containing the Hollow spell. Very powerful magic.
Ooh, yeah, it is.
Okay.
And it seems that Augermock Spain will send the servants to stop you once you place a gem within the heart of this temple. All in all, the way he explains it, you'll have to defeat 3 temple guardians. Rather, you'll have to awaken 3 temple guardians, at which point the temple will be sort of cleansed, if that's clear.
Okay.
So, for the sake of context, they don't have a map to give you, but Rockblight is directly to the east from Blingdenstone. Remember those gates I pointed out earlier in session? Yeah, that's Rockblight. That's Rockblight. To the northeast is where the oozes seem to be coming from, and the Wererat incursion seems to be coming from the section of the city called the Gold Whisker Warrens, which is directly to the north.
Okay.
Yes. The claimed sections of the city otherwise are, the center and the south. And to the west is the entrance, but that's the maze.
Okay.
Just to orient yourselves.
Well,
That's it. Thank you for picking up my quest. That's
we were always gonna pick it up.
Yeah, we were always gonna do it.
It's probably a good idea to know like what we're looking at before we pick one. Like there's some chance we're like, oh, that was really dumb. We should have done that first. But yeah, it still looks like ooze, right, guys?
Yeah, I'll say. They're the urgency, I guess.
So, having heard rumors from the inn, having picked up these quests from the Diggermack Halts, having spoken to people in the Speaking Stones, where to first?
To the northeast, where I'll try to see what's bringing the oozes inside, or commanding them.
Move your tokens by your own volition. I'll have you start from a set of gates that you choose. There are many exit points from here. You will not be able to venture through collapsed tunnels, unfortunately, unless you can clear rubble, which is going to take some time. But there are many gates to head through. There's a north gate, there's...
Okay.
Yeah.
Isabel is stuck on the wall.
Oh, well, then stop going to walls.
Thank you. She's not stuck anymore.
You want to go all the way up to this one?
Yes.
The Trader's Grotto Gate. Alright.
That's where they were coming in from right now, and might be more active. Push them back a little bit. Give them some breathing room, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
On our way there, Eric will increase Dawnbrinker's light to 30 by 30 feet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll bring
The
out.
city is dark. Pretty dark.
Yeah, and I'll bring out my construct and bring out the Mitrala. So it illuminates the area. We're not walking in complete darkness.
The guard stationed in front of this gate sizes you up, eyes narrowing as he recognizes your group from before. And he speaks in a rough, sort of gravely voice. Well, you lot don't look less green as some that wander through here. Word's been spreading about trouble in Rockblight, just past these doors. Trouble That's more than enough to turn a gnome's bones to dust if you're not careful. The name's Sark. Sark X-Sparrow. He sort of gestures toward the locked door behind him, his tone shifting to one of wary respect towards you guys. I'm the one who's in charge of guarding these doors. You see, Rockblight is what we call the north section of the whole city, a forsaken place. But I'm sure you got your breathing, eh? Nothing good comes out of this place. And lately, as if things weren't bad enough, we've had reports of a damned Medusa lurking in there. Turned 2 of my scouts to stone before we knew what was happening. So scratches his chin thoughtfully. Say, if you're mad enough to go poking around Rockblight, I'll make it worth your while. Find out whatever you can about the Medusa, if she's even real. And if you manage to kill her, I'll pay you 50 gold piece each for useful information. Maybe even throw in a diamond worth 1,000 if you bring back proof that she's dead. Hmm?
Well, we're going in that direction, so if there is a Medusa, we'll surely find her. Or
All
she will
right.
find us.
So
This is making me think maybe we should find petrification potions or something. Anti-petrification.
Back to the stone druids.
Yeah.
I'll save you time. We ain't got those. What you looking for are basilisk tears. We haven't seen a basilisk, a live one, in weeks. So you take
We
care.
don't have the resources to harvest, or not harvest, but like make that in the field. Even if we did find one, I don't think. I'm not an alchemist. Maybe Gizmo can.
Do you have a mirror this size?
Couldn't at least one of us be somewhat protected from such a gaze with the crown that we received before?
Not really. Crown that I have allows me to use it, but if I use it on such a being that is innate with stone giants, gnomes, dwarves, maybe a Medusa, it's gonna come back on me real fast, real hard.
Medusas are not enthroned with a stone element.
They're what?
They're not. They're not a thing of stone. They're not a stone element.
I was saying that the crown helps to offer protection. Yes?
No.
Are you sure?
Pretty certain it does.
You can't grant advantageous hand thrones against being petrified, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, there's advantage on it, but like I still have to make eye contact with the creature. I'm sorry, that's how I'm looking at it.
Is that fear?
Lorraine,
what I'm
you're correct.
sensing?
I'll give you validation if you're seeking.
Is that fear what I'm sensing, Buzz?
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to get turned to stone. You have to immediately bring that creature down with the full force of everything. Everyone has to go at it at the same time.
Let's not meet the case.
No, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. All we
All
need
right,
to do,
fine.
maybe we'll
Fuck me
pick
then.
up some. We'll pick up some onions just in case we come across a basilisk.
Humor. That's good. Keep holding on to that. You don't need it.
I think that we've got this. Do you remember that staff that I pulled out of that poison? Well, I at least, and whoever else touches it can have blind sight, so we can just close our eyes and lay into it.
Don't we have to be holding on to it?
Yes, so we all gather around, hold on to the staff, and take turns holding on to it. And then you can... Well, I guess anyone that doesn't need to be up close and personal. And Glabs doesn't... I mean, his eyes, I asked him, they're just decoration.
No, these are mine.
Wait, but I'm saying you don't need them.
But
Look
I
to
like
the floor
them.
glabs.
I like them too, they're very nice.
Look to the floor glabs. That's what he's trying to say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the place is sealed for a reason, so if you guys are certain, I'll give the signal to open doors. But just so you know, the place eats up our people and spits them out like dust. You're welcome to try your luck if you think you've got the stones for it.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, my
Hey,
stones
we
are
also-
huge.
We also, if we need, I mean, Baz and I, we came through on this one, and I pull out that sack. Well, maybe he has it, but like I'll point to it. We have this from Laverne. Sack of true seeing for 1 hour. We have true sight. So as we're going through trying to avoid oozes and not being petrified, this should come in handy.
Well, use it whenever you feel like it's
That
the right
is. That is a smart idea, in fact.
Yes, I know that's
True
why I said
sight.
it. Yes.
And we have access to the darkness spell. We can blind a Medusa while at least one of us can still see her.
I can put darkness around her. I can still see in it. It'd be nice if I had another set of eyes on her, though. Like, meaning someone else, yeah, do it. It'd be super advantageous.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you do go in, don't stare at any stranger you meet in the eye unless you're looking to be a permanent part of the landscape. And with that, he resumes his watch, positioning his hand with a signal to open the gate. The cave badgers standing alongside him sort of snarl as you pass on by, but the gate's open for you to explore onwards. For the sake of this,
Go, crew.
the NPCs are with you.
I actually think we have some good stuff to fight a Medusa.
Alrighty. Time check, okay. Chapters. Blingdenstone, outskirts, outer Blingdenstone.
Do we know what happens if you blind a Medusa?
You still
Well, if
cannot
it can't
her
see
eyes.
you. Well, if you can't see you, it's just a woman with snake hair.
You got something that could blind her.
Well, not
Magics
me,
of
but-
soul, anything. Blind
Yeah,
deafness
I-
spell.
I'm pretty sure it's us seeing her, but that's a plan.
I think Chimjar has this actually, but I don't know. Is it her eyes or is it the snake's eyes that does you in?
Us,
Why don't you go test it out? Let me know.
we'll know really soon.
Going for a swim?
Is this a pool? I was gonna ask what this is, but
I touch
thought
it
was like-
anyways. Oh.
yeah, I thought it was on a stage more than a pool. Not sure.
All right.
Looks like phasers.
I was just waiting for people to stop talking, so like, well, not stop talking, but finish discussion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So please, DM.
So, as you guys reach like this part of the cavern, you see immediately like the walls of this great, immense cavern are covered in slime, dripping, sickening green slime. It echoes like dripping water, filling the entire cave. In the center of this cave is a large spherical structure held up off the floor by a set of stone pillars. Around these pillars crawl dozens upon dozens of living oozes, heaving forward while reaching out with grasping pseudopods. The sphere surface, like the cave walls, is covered with slime. Black slime swirls with yellow and gray slime, disgusting soup of sorts that Isabel wanted to go swimming in for whatever reason. The sort of unearthly patterns in the movement of this hole, staining your eyes and tugging at your minds as you stare. There's a disembodied voice that fills the cave. What's this? What's this? Kalukale? The visitors now? Not yet. We're not ready. Go away, pests. I will call upon thee and all of Blingdenstone to announce our glad tidings of the faceless lord to come at the proper time. Begone.
I'm not doing this again. We already did one with the wedding. Come back later. Now we're here now.
I'm sorry, Nick. Not to your standards. You guys see hundreds of oozes. The creatures congregate here, drawn by some will. You recognize like puddings, grey oozes, ochre jellies, gelatinous cubes, all sorts of fun. Yeah.
How is Glabs?
He turns toward you. I can hear them communicating, calling for me to join them. But he's still himself. He just hears them.
Okay.
He like attempts to openly communicate with the other ooze creatures. But the others are kind of just sort of calling for it to join them.
Okay. We should keep moving
do you-
before they change their mind.
What do you say we drop? No, perhaps it's too close to the city. I was gonna say, what do you say we drop the obelisk here? Give it instructions to detonate in 1 hour.
It's 1 minute, but that's a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how far?
The into a charge.
It's
Well-
300, so we should place it around this area.
First, we need to go get a lot of that diesel fuel that the gnomes use.
The into a charge is magical, Isabel said last she inspected it.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any explosions or anything.
We should keep moving.
I don't think we want to set everything on fire. Something that they want to reclaim.
You have a point there.
Isabel, you've identified and
We haven't-
you know how the device works, right?
Yes, I know.
It's not an explosive.
Yeah, it's a mental.
Right.
It's like a.
Wait, it breaks the brain, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Choose a path.
It is true that we've yet to test it, so
Well, there is only one way to test it.
Hmm.
What is this? This looks ugly.
The sound of dripping water fills the dark cave here, and various oozes slither across the walls and floor. Some sort of a fungal wall or partition once divided the cave here, but the barrier has been destroyed. Beyond it lies more wreckage and debris secured and scoured clean by more hundreds of oozes.
I'm just walking out with my big old 10-foot stick, just carrying it under my arm, swinging it, making sure something's not just sitting there in the open.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like as I'm walking, you see songbird is flying in front of me. If it's stuck into something, I know to not go there.
Okay. You guys move faster, even stealth, faster than the oozes crawl about, though many of them are attracted to your light, and you make your presence obvious, and begin to close in, sort of like a zombie horde attempting to corner you. You continue on moving forward. Those of you with a more keen eye inspecting ground can see this was some sort of, what do you call a fenced area keeping a whole bunch of cattle?
A pen?
Yeah, it was some sort of a pan keeping deep rothe here. The remains skeletal of the animals litter the ground now, sort of slimy with ooze, have been being consumed by this slimy tide of jelly. Deep rothe are like enormous underground intelligent kettle of the Underdark, capable of sound communication and even communicating via lights, but none of the animal remain alive. Hundreds of corpses littered for what little remains of their bones in this place. Again, you take a quick scouting count of this ransacked place. Most of it have been off away, but the oozes, black puddings, grey, ochre jellies, number in the hundreds.
All right, what's the plan here? We can't kill all of these things.
Yes, but they say like they want to know what's calling them and for what. Those things say I want to know too. They mentioned the faceless one.
Well, maybe we should ask.
Maybe we.
You want to talk to the oozes?
I mean, who was telling us about the faceless one? Was it the oozes that were talking?
I think Glass mentioned him before. It's Jubilex, if I have to know, but I wonder if he's here.
Did we get a sense of where that message was coming from about the faceless one? Was it from the pool?
No, it wasn't coming from a certain direction. Just all throughout cabin.
Oh,
Guess I'll just reach out with my telepathy and see if I can connect with something and just ask, who is this faceless one?
A squelching presence upon the air hive mind communicates back the name of Jublex, Slime Lord.
Yep, you called it.
I don't know what attracts slimes. Why here? And I don't know. I don't understand these creatures.
You watch as Isabel, like hundreds of feet ahead of the group, if this is accurate, braves like venturing into the pen sort of thing. Isabel, at this point, if you were truly wading into the hundreds of oozes, you're walking amid them. They are not attacking you.
I misheard that part. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just telling you, it's all part of flavor. Your presence, guys, is very obvious. You're using sources of light, a bright old sword, the Mythalar. Those of them close to you see you coming out of the shadows, but they don't seem to be hostile. Strangely enough. All the while, there's a voice on the ether tells them, "Wait, not yet," like commanding them to stay still, to not harm you.
Almost inviting in some sense.
No, just. I mean, up to your interpretation, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's inviting. They want us to see for some reason.
Well, maybe we gotta look around for something. Maybe they got some, I don't know, fancy altar they're praising Jubilex to or something. I'm just gonna call out to the ether and just be like, well, where you at?
You get the same
Perhaps
sense
we
of
should
message of
not.
like, not yet, as if whatever's preparing itself is not ready for you to face it yet. It's amassing an army, whatever this presence is. You're not yet ready to face the full awe of it.
Let's try to keep moving. See if we
Alright.
can find.
Yes, let's try to find something.
Found something.
Anything in there, Isabel?
thousands of them. They're just staring. But can you catch up with me? I feel quite lonely surrounded by these things.
Alright. I'm gonna walk gingerly into this area. Why are we over here? Is there anything besides dead Rothe?
Like, you want me to start putting tokens on the map? Like I can. Here you go.
Oh, I'm consumed.
Like,
I'm being
they're
consumed.
everywhere. I don't know what
We-
else to describe. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we need to explore the area and find the commander, I guess.
I
Alright.
mean, there are other
Well,
paths we could have taken. This is gross.
I mean, is there like any other light sources that's emitting somewhere, like ritual
No.
pit light, like?
You are walking in
Anything?
darkness. These here abandoned ruins know nothing but your light. But apparently you can see for miles for some reason. What the fuck?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna reach out to Isabella
fine.
telepathically so I'm not yelling and just say, do you see anything down that corridor? Or is it just more ooze?
Okay, I'll expedite this a little bit. As you explore onwards, as
Yeah.
eventually in the direction, there's almost like a cocoon, and then encapsulating this chamber over yonder, made from the walls of which are like made from solidified ooze. It's sort of blocking this entrance over yonder head. The wall of it may be stretching upwards to like 45 feet upwards, cocooning the area. Then something seems to pulse as it grows within this cocoon.
When you say it grows 35 feet, does it reach to the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be able to push onwards from here, but surrounded as you are by these hundreds of oozes, and as you reach toward the core, you'll be effectively surrounding yourself in very hostile territory should things turn sour. This is the part of where DM says, "Are you sure that you want to proceed?" And I can be super frank with you guys because I want to, because otherwise it's a little bit of a waste of time. This module's old. It has flaws. I'm not even sure if this door is supposed to be opened. The one I opened for you guys when you first ventured here, but you guys started the dungeon from the end.
Okay, so we're killing the boss is here.
You have the choice. You can proceed onwards. The area ahead is super dangerous. You have scouted the area and have learned what you've learned. But these odds will be stacked against you by the 100-fold. The 5 of you, plus your companions, will not be able to face this alone. You probably need an army, probably a united Blingdenstone to face off this count, this horde of oozes. Or you can face whatever is beyond this wall alone. Which, I'll be frank with you, is probably not survivable. I just don't want to waste your time and then TPK. So I'll be frank.
Okay.
I'm not good at delivering right now how scary the situation is. I would use flowery language of you walk through the muck and all that. It's 8:44 and I'm blowing battery. So
I think I get it. Like, we're basically floor to ceiling. Everything is dark. The only thing that you can see is the ground in front of you and oozes for as far as you can see. As we've been traveling hundreds of feet through this, it's just oozes the entire
Right.
way. Like, there's
Right.
no way of getting out of here alive. There's no way of even making it probably
they're
50
coming
feet.
out of the
Yeah.
dark, murky water. There seem to be summoned to this epicenter place, guarding this cocoon, and a lot of them pouring into that bowl you pass by, forming into this gelatinous soup composed of hundreds of oozes. This is a terrifying foe building up, essentially.
Yes, we should slowly back away.
Maybe at least we can find the Medusa in here, get something out of it. We can't take all this on.
No, we need to chop off the Medusa's head and then use it to petrify all the oozes. It's the only way out of this.
If only they had eyes.
Damn you and your logic.
You guys proceed onwards for 10, 20 minutes, exploring around vigilantly this place, getting count of just putting court, as I like to call it. That will encompass this northeastern section of the ruins. To the south of you would know is Rockblight, which is where the Medusa is said to be held, and to the west are the Warrens. But for the sake of benefits, for having scouted this much, getting the number of oozes and the territory, I'll give you guys certain advantages come next session should you want to make battle here with whatever forces you gather to push onwards towards the core of this abyssal corruption, whatever it is that calls these oozes to this place. I'll be frank with you guys, 5 minutes before session ends, I don't want to run the reveal yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be nice if Gizmo was here too.
Yeah.
True.
So you say that the Medusa is on.
Medusa's south. Rockblight is south from here, yeah. Whereas to the west are the Warrens, the section of city claimed by the Gold Whiskers.
Okay. Do we make our way
I'm just
south?
giving my players freedom, but I'm wondering, like, why would you ever want your players to start from the end of the dungeon? They can, if you don't warn them, they'll absolutely TPK. Because the module's like, yeah, if they proceed onwards, all the oozes awaken or whatever the fuck, you know. It's like, that's a lot of fucking initiative that I don't want to run.
Yeah, that's like, from what it sounds like, is you don't even run initiative. You just narrate how we die to.
I would make it a
bajillion
chase
oozes.
back to the gates and be like, you suffer this much damage as you encounter obstacles on the way. You are not facing off hundreds of oozes. This is a absolute wave tide. While you're exploring, though, this seems to be very passive, and that's something you guys can take to know for the time being. I could be rolling for random encounters as well, but again, 5 minutes a session. I think at this point, as you guys are exploring, it's a good spot to sort of have Gizmo join us as you guys are exploring forward, and we can have like RP moments as you guys are exploring these ruins. I can use more flowery language to describe what remains of Blingdenstone. This is what I was talking about when I initially described Blingdenstone as a war zone. It's Chernobyl. It's absolutely like ruin. I think the map does a good job of displaying how it's very desolate and stuff. There are random encounters that will be ruling ahead of time, and maybe we'll catch something along the way as we're exploring about. And you guys have a lot of quests on hand to do. You just, unlikely enough, you guys started from the end of it with for now, a very desolate place, a very non-encounter place. I would say. Something I have to. Kind of reminds me of, remember when we were exploring Castle Ravenloft and it's like, you enter a room, it's empty. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
I need to fill it. Just that when I was doing my writing, I was doing it from the top to the bottom. I was doing the dungeon from the beginning, and you guys entered the end of it. I was like, well, that's the one section I don't want to reveal yet. Yes.
No, it's okay.
So I'm gonna,
Play the picture. In my head, it's like, have you guys seen Alien, the movies?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like it's like the house of the aliens, like all alive. And
Prometheus Egg House, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to change something about the module coming up. I like this place. It's very premonition about it. I'll be frank. The module does nothing with this. There's absolutely nothing to be found here. I hate that. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna do something with this here. Pool. It's bizarre to me that the writers of the module were like, yeah, it's just a pool of goop. It's awesome. Look at this.
Here it's Booger City.
Yeah.
Like the portal to the upside down, kind of.
Sure.
We're gonna have to. We'll tie a rope onto Clank and send him in and see what he sees.
Hell yeah.
Tell yourself. Stop using my NPCs as guinea pigs.
Oh, you know
Take a
what we
leap
could do?
of faith.
We could sing Globs in. I mean, he's an ooze, so if there's a bunch of oozes in there, he should be okay.
He can absorb them and become ultra glabs.
Yeah,
Super
he's gonna be-
Saiyan glabs.
He's gonna be the villain at the end of this. Is Mega Glob.
This place is huge. That sphere, with how stone sphere is 150 feet in diameter. Elevated 10 feet above the ground.
Jeez.
It's a big old sphere.
So- That's not a pool. It's a sphere of like filled with like oozes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna definitely like reshape it and write more about it next session when Gizmo's here. I almost imagine I want to reshape it into like a alchemical flask almost. Just almost like an hourglass that gets filled up with goop. The only thing is I have to keep it. I want to make it into sort of an arena, so I'll make it like open on the top, definitely with like oozes crawling in, and I'll shape it into something for sure. It's just out of like 30 locations, it's like number 28, and it's like at the dead end of my dungeon. And the module is just like, even the metalwork has been corroded and eaten away. There is nothing of interest or value within. Lame. So I'll change that.
Well, Boss has a point. We need the were rats on this.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Group can decide on what they want to engage first.
We do want to mess with the Medusa, right? We're not just gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna go fuck her up.
Okay.
Yes.
It's money. It's 1,000 gold pieces.
I know. I was gonna say like we need to eat, so we're running really low on funds.
I got used to eating. So, for next session, guys, how do you feel? Medusa first, then rats, then elementals, or in another order?
Medusa, rat, elemental. That's my choice.
It's a big old triangle you're then making, because both the Medusa and the everything to do with stolen emerald is in the place called Rock Blight, right? Which is the south. You can absolutely run back and forth. I don't care. Like, I'm just saying. Every time you guys maneuver from a new place or another, I'll be rolling a d20. If it falls on like a 15 or higher, I'll do a random encounter.
Okay. So, north first?
This was session 29.
You know, I wonder if there's different entrances to get into, like, because the were-rats can't be coming in through those, like, where all the slimes are, right? Like, there has to be a different place where they're coming in from.
The Warrens are to the north.
It's okay. We go to the wards, into the north.
They're essentially squatting in a section of the city that could have been used for the citizens of Blingdenstone. Which is why they're sparking so much ire. They're taking our jobs.
They took our jobs!
They're staring at illegal immigrants.
Send them back.
We do things better and cheaper than you guys. It's your fault.
See, I said I wonder if there's only one door to enter this dungeon from, but that doesn't make sense because either way, the party will have to navigate through the ooze zone to get to the Warrens or to whatever.
Yeah, it also, like, if the were-rats had to come through the oozes to get into Blingdenstone, then the gnomes probably wouldn't even realize that they were there. Like, if you were a were-rat, why would you wander through that? Like, that was, you know, like you'd take one look at that and just back out. Like, shut the door. Probably move.
Marge will be like, if the characters intend to rush this deadly tide, warn them that retreat is a better option and that this is a fight they aren't likely to survive without strategy and aid. Is a very soft way of putting it, yes. Hundreds of ooze creatures, that's a lot of CR.
A lot of CR.
Yeah.
But I think we got it, guys. This is the spot. We're nuking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
That's what I
so.
was thinking. It's like, just drop the charge in there
You could.
and run.
I was to myself thinking, like, if you guys do that, I'm fine with it. Because that's my players telling me we don't want to do this encounter, Tom. And I'll be like, we're moving on. You're
It's
heroes,
not that
and we're moving on. I'm just gonna skip the treasure portion
not.
because the treasure was lost, and we're gonna just move on past Blingdenstone. Like, you reach the surface. Like, I don't care. We can do
Well,
It's
that.
I
not
mean-
that, man. I want to nuke something. Okay, I'll nuke Blingdenstone. Okay, that's it.
Also, we wouldn't need to share the XP if we nuked them. It just goes to the 5 of us. Like a
Oh.
level
It-
10 poggers? Level 10.
There you go.
Oh wait, we're still 6. Oh wait.
We're 6, yeah.
For some reason, I thought we were already level 7. I was like, hey, just jump 3 levels with 1 nuke.
Bro, you high.
You high, man.
This module is old and it shows. I don't mean to shit talk it, but like the characters can convince Glabical to stay with the party. Okay, what check is that? Like, what am I rolling? Where's the C? Why would he want to leave? It's like weird, right?
Yeah.
Did you say Glabs?
Yeah, like Glabigal is, if he's with the party, attempts to communicate with the ooze creatures, telling the characters that the others of its kind are calling for it to join them. The adventurers can convince the gelatinous cube not to go, but even if it does, you know, whatever, it can, something else can happen. Why would he leave?
I mean, he wants to eat grass. Why will he leave?
Every other part of the module is like, no, he fights with a party against the gelatinous cubes because he's exceptional. Why would he leave now? It's weird.
I didn't know Glabs was a part of the module. I thought you just like threw him in there. It was like, cool, we got a mascot.
He's a powerful mascot.
He's great.
Name of the episode?
I'm all for the Super Saiyan Glabigal idea.
Super Saiyan.
He's gonna be your
This-
overlord soon.
Super Glabigal.
Jubilex gets replaced.
I love how Jublix is still a point of like discussion. This point of like, is it Jublix or not? I'm like, I've been hinting at Jublix ever since you guys found Glabigal like session 9 or something. Like,
Yeah.
why is it still like a question mark? Like, who else?
Yeah, I don't know how much my character would know about like demon lords and stuff like that. So
You're with the party. They.
yeah, I guess that's true. We would figure it out at this point. Like that'd be our main goal is to like learn about
Ooh.
that stuff.
Ooh, that's
Demogorgon,
cool.
is that you?
Yo, look at this guy. This is one of the oozes you guys saw. Not with a body, of course, but still cool. Look at how cool looking he looks. Oh, me like
He's
it.
disgusting.
I think it's with the body. We found it with the body. At 40, no. 299 now.
Sure. Some cool oozes coming up. I just told myself like I don't have to prep this combat because they're not gonna be mad enough to engage it, so I didn't put anything in there. But prove me wrong, I guess.
Well, you know, now I'm like on the opposite of the Lady of Pest of the other Demon Lord. Like against her, we were like we're gonna fuck her up, or we're gonna fuck someone up. On this one, I was like, okay, we're gonna talk with someone.
So Nick, I have a whole variety of oozes coming up for combat, right? They all have different properties because that's what oozes are. There are flammable ones, and I'm thinking about doing an ooze that's like made from gunpowder. Just like damages itself, others, you guys, and other ooze just blows up, just fuck up, yeah.
He's just a
E4
kamikaze
ooze.
one.
Yeah. Oblex, the Radiant Essence. I'm pulling oozes from like 3.5E and 4E for this one.
Let's do this shit.
Look at this is called the Sulphurous Impersonator. Fucking love that token. Fucking creepy.
Wait, hold
But-
on one sec.
Which one?
The man who's grasping his face and stuff. It's just like
Oh, okay.
these are little green boys that explode. The Oblex spawn.
Oh.
I'm going to be using these tokens for them because I just like how they look. Look at this little goblin, this little bulldog. Ah, good times.
That's him. That's the sound he makes.
I did not hear that. I think Discord cut you out, but yeah.
No fine.
Tyrant jellies from 3.5. all about you. Crawling about. Big old threat. Oh, cool. I even have gelatinous cube ones. Just cube. That's good. Because you know I have them.
Cube.
Cube. In various colors and stuff.
Get cube, nerd.
Yeah. Okay. Did you come?
Sure.
No, it's like a hiccup, something like that.
Mm.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Love these guys. I'll prep. It's gonna be a good time. The module was like, oh yeah, amid all the like hundreds of gelatinous jellies, whatever, as Isabel's walking amid them, there's one like gibbering mouth for like masking itself. I was like, I'm not gonna do combat 5 minutes per session, but it's kind of funny if she gets like chomped down by a gibbering mouth for right now. Yeah.
I mean, I will ask, how did he survive? But
I mean,
Nope.
the oozes aren't attacking us either.
Yeah.
for now. For now.
Neat.
But that token is awful. I hate it. Give me the creeps.
I like it. The creeps is what you should be getting. I'm gonna put a little green slob on the number. There we go. A little just slob the wiggle. A little ooze. Anyway, name of the episode, and I'm done recording.
Yeah.
It's prime slime time.
I like it.
Slime.
Prime slime time.